Maybe the pubes you've encountered, they don't know how to take care of their pubes.
That's pretty low, dude.
I'm just saying. I mean, it is.
That's literally
what is pubes are low.
Below the belt, bro. That was below the belt.
Touche. What just happened? Ah, shit! Steve did a flyby. Thank you, Steve, for the memberships. I wish that I could see on StreamYard who gets bombed out into view.
StreamYard's not nearly that cool, dude.
No. Want me to tell you?
Yeah.
All right. Yasminia, Ben,
I mean, just hit the. What's up, Ben?
The True Gypsy, Gasolina, Julia Lynn, Somebody's Lying, Jessica.
Just look for you can just shout out if there's anyone down there who you know is a lurking slave.
No. No. I already checked. I already knew that, but I didn't know if maybe you knew some of them.
Oh, probably. I'd go back afterwards and look for it.
No worries. What up, Hard? Hadn't seen you in a while.
DJ said he wanted to talk more about pubes.
We can talk about pubes. I don't have much more to say on them, but I'm happy to answer questions. I feel
proper
like
hair care, should they be braided? Things like that.
They should never be braided. If your pubes are braided, then that's the problem. You got too much of them. That's not the only reason your penis looks so small, though. Probably really is.
Just the micro penis thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the heads up. I'm gonna work on it.
Hold on. I gotta appreciate the alley-oop. I was trying to cut that one off.
The funniest thing I've ever seen.
You hadn't seen that one?
That.
No.
Love that one.
Yeah.
Well, homie been stacking them fucking 5 deep over there trying to get the right ones going. I love it. That's great. That's exactly what this show needs, man.
Is the little clips?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just not user friendly. I've got to scroll and find it, especially if you want it in the moment.
Stream Elements will do all of that crap for you and do it when they drop whatever it is you tell it to do. But you got to beat your head against that wall to get it working.
Okay, well, if it can do those things, like I'm not opposed to beating my head against walls. I just I guess I didn't realize it had that capacity.
It's in there. I don't know how to do it. I haven't beat my head against that wall specifically. I have a different wall planned.
And honestly, like I'm gonna need to incorporate that to where I can have these things accessible easily. I'm gonna need another monitor.
Yeah, you need another monitor if you're going to be streaming like this, dude. I'll be honest with you. Do you have your email open where you can see it?
I can.
No.
Now I do.
All right. But is it taking the place of some other tidbit of information that would be better on screen?
Yeah, like you guys.
So here's the thing. That email is your lifeline to the source of your channel. If you start going awry, they will email you right before they take you down. So if the email pops up, you will have just enough time to click it and read it and then adjust before you get took down, usually.
Who will email me?
YouTube. YouTube,
okay.
StreamYard, whichever group it is that takes you down, they'll send you an email and be like, hey, you've run afoul of some particular whatever it is. And you've got about a minute and a half maybe before you're actually taken down unless you've directly gone off the reservation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got a video. I've got a few channels where just different things, right? They're not like active channels so much as they're like storage space. I got a video taken down off of one of those for medical misinformation today. They must have changed the policy. Huh?
One of your conspiracy theory things come back and bite you in the ass?
No, it wasn't even a conspiracy theory thing. I don't know what in it. First of all, they're not theories. I'll have you know that. Second of all, no, I don't even know, and you can't review it now. It's gone. It was not a conspiracy video. I don't know what was mentioned or referenced real quick, but it doesn't matter. It's on a channel that I don't really do much with. Well, it's just a storage spot. And if I don't remember what the video was that they removed, it obviously is not very important.
Was it a panel?
No.
Okay, so it was your fuck up, not somebody else's. Gotcha.
No, it was somebody else's it was somebody else's video.
Oh,
in its entirety. It was an old one. It was from a while back. Not even anybody we'd know here.
Were you doing like a review on somebody else's?
No, I don't know what it was. From the title, it looks like it was just a copy of their video, like I mirrored something. But I don't know.
That might be all there is to it. The YouTube frowns on that. They consider that re-upload, even if you go to the channel creator and be like, hey, what are you doing? I'm doing this. I'd like you to mirror it. Okay, I'm going to mirror it. You can catch a strike on that end.
Even if it's, it's not the end of the world. It seems like they might have changed their policies. All right, let's listen to what he says.
At least there's a goal. At least there's an end game. At least it's not just fucking doing porn and aborting babies and arguing for nonsense and printing your own stamps and money. At least it's not ridiculous nonsense. At least it's actually like a positive goal.
Kim,
Listen, if you really were a Christian, Kim, you'd understand the concept of the Lord's Prayer is the same thing as qualified immunity. And if you realize that's the same thing as qualified immunity. More nonsense. That's not what the cops are hiding behind that falsely arrested me that I'm going to get taken away. Fuck you punk ass bitch. You ain't nothing but a no good dick sucking dick in the ass punk bitch ass slave. Still doing paperwork. You're fucked. What do you call printing your own stamps and money on paper? Isn't that paperwork? It's called negotiable instruments. And where do you negotiate them? Where do you negotiate them?
With the negotiators, the post office, you dumb fuck.
Okay, I want to see you write on your piece of paper that for $1 and go in the post office and have them negotiate and give you $1. If you can do that, listen to me. If you can do that on video, I will give you $1,000.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
No, you
I
won't.
absolutely fucking will. Oh my God, Wizard, are you kidding me?
You take the contract with you. You don't understand the concept of money. Why would I accept your offer of money when I can make as much as I can? You are a fuck nut. You don't even understand the concept.
Because I'm saying you're full of shit because you've never proven it and you can't prove it and you won't prove it.
It's already proven. Read Senate document number 43, the history of money banking, contract payable and closed. Go. It's in the Library of Congress.
$1,000. All you have to do is walk in the post office with one of your either a homemade stamp. Are you going to interrupt me? You're just going to interrupt me? You're just going to interrupt me?
Are you going to use? Are you going to use $4 or something?
You don't want me to interrupt you, but you want to interrupt me. I don't understand, Wizard. Why do you want to interrupt me, but you don't want to let me interrupt you? That's not right.
You got nothing to offer yourself.
Can't we negotiate a contract that allows us to both interrupt each other?
Jesus H. Christ.
That was entertaining for sure.
It was insanity is what it was. Yeah.
He's just trying to get something for nothing.
I don't know what he's trying to do, but I actually treated it, and I treated it like it was a good faith mistake when I saw the law saying that you can't do exactly what he'd been telling you could do, and I assumed it was a mistake, and I didn't put him on blast in public. But he ignored me. Finally, he grudgingly acknowledged me, but he has never. Well, you can see. So, and the more time this goes on, the more he digs in, the more people I hear who actually believe the bullshit that comes out of this dude's mouth. It's mind-boggling to me, but I sort of feel like,
Yeah, I have trouble with, okay, I can go down to the administration, claim my Social Security account, and buy a Tesla.
but he's broke as fuck, right? I don't know who's going to take financial advice. That's what I would think. I would think, who's going to take financial advice from somebody who's living with an older woman who gets retirement, and that's how, you know, he's sitting in Paul's stream all day long, just sort of watching.
I'm not gonna lie. There's a percentage of population that take this bullshit and actually go off and try it.
I know there's a lot of them. So
it feeds a lot of people. So
what do you mean?
Like a lot of people need this, and like he says, go and try it. Like they need this.
Yeah, what they don't need is a case.
Well, I don't know. Hold up, man. Now you're fucking with job security on me. Come on. Jesus.
In their mind.
Well, if that's the case, then Joshua should be able to get corn chips sent to him for free.
You would think, yeah. Universal Postal Union, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. So we can use like a Diplo courier service, but like I used it a couple of times. Eventually got busted by supervisors. That was a big no-no. So
yeah, misuse of funds.
Yeah, those care packages from mom. Yeah, that shit. I think I got away with like 2 or 3 of them, and then they nailed my ass for it.
Yeah. But here's the reality is simple. He confuses simple reality with confusing nonsensical language. If you use a service that people pay for, but you don't pay for it because you tricked them into thinking that the thing you put on your envelope was proof of payment, that's fraud or counterfeiting or both.
But the UCC says so.
There was an individual who got a hold to an old postal stamp, the one that has the little wavy lines that was used for like 20 years.
The forever stamp?
No, it was like an ink stamp. It was used by the post office to for postal business, franking for the post office specifically. He got a hold of one of these things down here, and apparently for about 2 years, he was mailing everything under the sun for everybody he could find and basically pocketing the money. He's got 50 years. Because he stole property and then he stole federal money through use of the postal service through fraud.
Yeah, so even though it sounds stupid to most people, and it does to me at first, like what he's encouraging people to do, what he's encouraging gullible people to do is anything but simple and trivial.
Can I throw something out there?
Yeah.
I've been down some rabbit holes or whatever, and I've kind of more kept my research on the land I'm on or whatever, right? And I'm north of most of you guys in Canada. So I'll have to admit, I didn't do any of this postal service stuff. I don't know with what I was learning, it didn't get into that. But I will say with a lot of the stuff Wizard, I call him Wiz, but Wizard is talking about with this other, because it's different, because you guys focus on and your shit, you guys are a little better off in what they've kind of pretended to give you in terms of what you can do and not do or whatever than where I'm at. Mm-hmm. But he says a lot of the right stuff with the stuff that I've gone down, but I haven't done any postal shit. And the reality of a lot of this stuff, when people say you have to do your research, so if you really want to do this and step through and go through the process, you literally have to learn and get it in your head to be able to do this route, right?
You definitely have to understand. You're responsible for your own life ultimately. You need to understand how you live, and that's what the Sov sits regularly fuck up, is that they hear somebody like Wizard giving them an idea that they like, and then they try it without having any clue?
Well, I'll tell you my honest opinion is I was in a group that was specific on China, and it's a guy that actually has gotten some remedy. He was really fighting big time, but then he got jailed before COVID, big time, right?
Who was? I'm sorry. I start that sentence over again.
Well, there's I don't even want to really say his name, okay. But there's a guy that was pretty big on the China scene that was really putting a whole bunch of cases and shit through the courts way back in the 80s and stuff. And he actually got a lot of remedy and really fucking ruffled feathers. But basically what happened is he got thrown in jail. The RCMP fucking set him up. They actually went out to where his property was and robbed all this evidence that he had in his filings and the legal papers and all this shit, right? It was a travesty. And so, yeah, he sat in jail. He's come out, but he's never had kids like me, right? But once you have kids, that changes your shit. So now he met a great woman during the fucking tyranny. They have a kid, I think another kid. And so he's not being so, but anyway, he talks a lot about what you can do to, his way is not getting out of the system. It's using the system that they've put in to get your, to vote out of the system, right? But sovereign is bullshit. That's a bullshit thing. You can't be, but you're a private citizen. I don't know. But again, here's the thing is all the secrets you really need to know to fulfill this. Nobody's saying it because in some ways, the ones that have made it, right, and have done the right process, filed the right papers with the right government offices and did whatever the fuck you need to do. I think when you get that remedy, there's like and I hate these things, non-disclosure, and that's why the world's so evil, because you'll win something and they'll say, okay, you can't talk about it, right? Or this is fucking, right? And so it doesn't get out about what actually happened, but you move on, or you don't want to talk about it because in some ways, even if you're in your right, when the government wants to get you, they're going to get you. Like, that's it. That's how it is. Like, whether you're big or small. But anyway, yeah. So,
I mean,
there's a lot of. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I thought you were done. You go ahead and finish.
I was going to say a lot of people put their stuff in trust thinking they don't have to pay taxes. Yeah, the trust still has to pay taxes. There's no tax-free trust.
Let me play devil's advocate for a minute.
Let me jump in quick because maybe Buddy knows this answer. But what percentage of those taxes are you paying in that trust? And isn't it true that the government can never take it from you as your fiction name for something you're doing, saying, "Oh, hey, you're a criminal," because it's in a trust. So you're always you have access to it, or no? Just tell me. I don't know.
Well, it depends on what the resources are and it depends on what they are and how they're being utilized. Generally speaking, most of these systems aren't designed. Instead of paying taxes today, you'll pay it tomorrow. In this case, sometimes you'd be paying the other person that's on the receiving end is paying it. Just depends. There's about 10 billion different ways to set up trust. So, I mean, it depends on what it is and what you're dealing with. But generally speaking, the difference is instead of you paying the tax today, somebody else is paying the tax tomorrow, or the trust itself might be paying the tax tomorrow. So there might be a downfall to it too, where if taxes are always increasing, it's going to be a higher tax rate later. This is one of those things you really kind of got to, before you set the shit up, you really got to do your research, figure out what's going to be the least effective, if that's why you're doing it. Generally, that's not why people are setting up trust to avoid taxes.
As I understand it, the trust setup as like, let's say you buy a business, right? And you don't want the business directly associated with you. You would turn around and set it in trust by basically creating the trust, selling it to the trust for 10 cents or whatever. And then the trust is taxed as the business as its own ownership. You would own the trust, the business would be in trust, but the business would function independent from your own like finances and stuff. It's its own entity, right? So it's not taxed based off of your income. It's taxed based off of the actual revenue generated through the businesses.
Okay, what about a trust on? I've bought a piece of fucking land, right? And I put it in trust, get it out of my name, and it's in a trust. Even though I have no kids, let's say for whatever future, it's not a business in a sense. Like all the food I'm growing, whatever's on it is for me. So that kind of trust, is that different or no?
No, the trust is, you're still going to end up getting nailed for property taxes. It's just instead of
property taxes.
Yeah,
but that's bullshit though, in a way. Like that's why, or I don't know. But that's a fucking, it's, I'm not down on that.
When I was a banker, I worked on the trust committee, and trusts are basically, they're just contract. It's most of the ones that I reviewed were part of somebody's will. So if you die and you leave assets, you can put them in a trust, and it's basically a contract that the bank executes on behalf of the person who established the trust. And it's rules for how the resources can be used, but it's not a tax dodge.
No, it's not. Those taxes do get paid eventually from some source, whether it's you paying them, the business paying them, the profits paying them, or simply the bank taking it over because it's cheaper that way. Whatever.
Yeah. So if you want to tax bypass here, I'll give you an example. Go start your business, right? Just go get a business license, set up your stuff right there. You're going to pay taxes. The company's going to pay its taxes. However, instead of you drawing your paycheck, you just basically pay your bills directly from that company. That's one way of getting away with a small portion of bypassing.
About that, there's actually no legal fucking. It's not in the books. It's actually voluntary. That my sweat equity that I put out. Right. I'm not talking about. I have employees and all this stuff. Everything that I own and my machinery and my output and sweat, blood, labor, like I like to call it, I'm not getting taxed on that shit, right? Because I'm not part of a citizen. I've bowed out. I don't vote. I've taken, you know what I mean? Or you guys are
because you're not outside of the system. You're using the system to enforce. You can't use the law to enforce the law of a system you're not part of.
Yeah, but the law has to respect your religious beliefs, right?
Bullshit. Law doesn't have to do anything. And people can, like, a lot of people around here confuse what's right for what's legal. And so it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, you could say that your fruit of your labor should be yours. I agree. Government disagrees. They have guns.
Well, there's hold up. There's a little bit of truth. There's a little bit of truth in what he said here. So an example, within the example, this is going to require a lot of trust that you are not going to have for another person, right? So take a look at the Hasidic Jews. Upstate New York, you'll see them have these like huge number of bungalows. We're talking like hundreds of these fuckers, right? No property tax. But it's because what they do is they register the land within the synagogue. So it's basically, instead of you owning it, the church owns it. But now this requires you as a person to trust your church, because once it's taken out of your name, right, like they can kind of just pull it out from the rug, out from underneath of you. The reason why we don't do it, we don't trust our churches.
Right. When you put something in trust, you also give up your rights to it in a large way.
Yeah.
You ever met a Southern Baptist minister?
With the fucking Jack Daniels under the pulpit. Yeah. Yeah.
Might be your dad. Might be Josh's dad. It could be anybody's dad. Those Southern pastors are kind of.
Yeah, Jim Jones is my biological father.
You wish.
What's going to offer people Kool-Aid?
Right? Just staying around.
Yeah, I mean, you could maybe start a church. I don't have any idea. If I were going to try to figure out a way to dodge property tax, I'd be looking at how to start a church. I assume it's not that easy, but I don't know. I don't know shit about it.
You know how to start any cults or join cults because I promised my mommy.
A church is not a cult.
If you've got me in there, it's probably going to be called a cult. Trust me, Alex over here will tell you all about it.
It doesn't matter what people call it. It's what you know in your heart it truly is a church. Okay. So apparently it's easy to start a church.
Yeah, no, that's what his channel is. He basically goes and pokes it. I don't know how to explain it.
Hey, David Taylor, you should there's a link pinned on my channel.
There's a link pinned. Hold on. There's a link pinned at the top of my chat over here that will bring you over to where the link is pinned at the top of his chat, and you can join the panel if you want to.
Yeah, that guy is on the right path with the rabbit holes I've been down. Is that in a lot of ways it's not that fucking C or whatever that fucking word is for the all the churches that made their flock get the fucking death shot. But it's you set up a type of church because it goes back to the Bible. Even though I'm not a Bible dude, it goes back to that in your remedy, right? And so whatever you make, you're right, and you're growing in your business, it's non-taxable, and they can't.
No, sir. Once you registered in with the church, you are very limited on what you can do.
There's different types of churches, I think, that you can be under, right? There's the kind that you have to be under their laws and regulations and acts and statutes, and then there's a different church where it's like the non-profit. I don't know. Like again, I'm a guy that's been self-employed most of my life. I have a trade, and I haven't paid taxes in a very long time, and I can count on one hand the times I actually had to file. And one time was when I was getting out of the clink, and it was part of the cleanup process. But there's a way to do it. But yeah, you're right. If you're going to have ban and all this shit, I don't have a remedy for you because
you got away with something doesn't mean you did it the right way.
Oh, buddy, I'm living my life, and I've done it the right way. And I'm going to fucking keep doing it my way. And it's been wonderful. So you're right. It's not the right way, and it's not for everyone. Man, is it tough. Right? It's I've never taken handouts from anyone. The government during the tyranny, they're giving money away. Nope, you don't. You know what I mean? You take care of yourself, but you have to be a worker, right? You got to be fucking can't sit on your laurels. But anyway, you're right. It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, I think it's Rostabear is the guy who made his marijuana church, and he's been raided and arrested several times. It's not working for him.
And this whole like getting away with taxes, like I think the IRS, their stats is like about 7 years. Like if you go around and start cheating shit, it takes about 7 years, give or take, for them to catch up with you. It's probably a backlog thing, but
what about changing the word? What about changing the wording about getting away with taxes to, at least in my country, they gave $1.5 billion to Ukraine, right? Which has little Nazi battalions and fucking, they went against the Minsk Accord against Russia, right? So they're supporting fucking terrorists. And then the dummies in the country that actually fought for the country that lost a leg, they don't have the money to give the guy a new leg. Our prime minister said that on air. Well, we don't. So getting it, isn't there a thing about no taxation without representation? So when they lock you down, when they shut your businesses, but they keep all the block stores open and they ruin your economy. And all
those are claims. This is exactly what Flo was talking about. The concept of getting you as a person trying to police them as the authority. That's not going to work in your favor.
Yeah, it's not just logistically, but you're also conflating your ethical stance, which I agree with a legal one. They're not the same. Welcome, Full Frontal.
Let me do a disclaimer here before we get too far, because things might get real fucking spicy real fucking quick.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, with the name like Full Frontal, yeah.
This is not my channel. This is Flo's page. In the event things get hinky, he will deuce every single one of us out and not apologize for it. Your name to something you do like.
Flo, where's the little pop-up one for like you're a pussy? You know, where's that one? We need one for that.
I only use that for you.
I just
shit.
Understand. Hold on. I want him to understand his name may be changed because someone paid to change his name.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah.
I like your screen name, by the way, Communist Pig. It's really dope, dude.
Yeah, you can just call me Commie Oinker. Either way, I take both of them. Doesn't matter.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Somebody paid to have his name changed to that. So, fair warning. I do. If you see the ticker across the bottom, people can pay to have somebody kicked off, brought back, topic change, or name change.
So just because you get took down, don't necessarily haul ass because you hate the place. Just stick around a minute. Either let you back in, or somebody will buy you back in, or
Sasquatch has said that he'll buy you back if anybody drops you already. So,
and if you don't want to get porn bomb flow, send the check.
But no, so you've got a church.
No, I've been doing research on a cult that's using the church to launder money, dude. He's opened up 3 tax exemptions. And what this guy did is he's bankrupt. He's already bankrupt 2 names. He's about to bankrupt the second one. He's already got a 3rd one and a 4th one ready, dude. It's a clusterfuck, dude. We've been reporting him to the IRS for fraud, dude. And the IRS is on him. Because the IRS, the way it works, the IRS is so fucking backlogged because of PPP loans. There's fucking mad fraud going on right now, man. Huge fraud.
I thought they stopped investigating PPP loans.
No, they're going to keep investigating those. They're still nailing motherfuckers for those, dude. Yep. And they're going after everybody who I think
they had 400. Yeah, the first year the PP loans came out, they had it was a record 500 investigation cases. That was just the first. Technically, it was 8 months.
Yeah, and they're still going after people because, dude, that's your money. That's our money.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's taxpayer money. That was supposed to.
Well, that's
theoretically, but it's not like, I mean, it doesn't get uninflated. If they don't spend it, doesn't get uninflated. The inflation has passed.
Yeah, the inflation fucking happened anyways, regardless with those fucking stimulus checks. That shit still happened.
No, it wouldn't have happened like it did.
Yeah. But what happened with the church that we're looking at is this guy's pulled several tax exemptions, right? And he's laundering the money throughout the tax exemptions. He dumped money from the one he got revoked and then dumped it into another tax exemption and bought about $30 million worth of fucking properties in 3 years, dude. And by church. And then what?
Yep. And then file for the bankruptcy and get out from underneath of it. There's a lot of weird loopholes that can run through there.
He's fighting a federal case out of Florida right now for a fucking stage that he said he was going to build and do this fucking cancer crusade, right? But he's dumped millions of dollars into this shit too, right? And using the church trying to fucking bullshit his way through all these court cases. And we think finally this court case in Florida right now, he's fighting. It's a federal civil case. The judge is seeing his bullshit and they're going to fucking throw the book at him.
So why did this guy catch your attention? Because it sounds like he's doing just what every church has done for Catholic Church.
I don't know, dude. I don't know, because it started with a deposition. And this guy just sits there. His name's David E. Taylor. Sits there in this fucking deposition and just clearly fucking lies about everything, right? Says, oh, I don't know, ask Michelle. I'm like, yo, fuck you, dude. If that was me, I'd be.
Is that the black guy?
Yes, the one with the heavy fucked up hairline. Yes, him.
Yeah.
Yes, him. That little cocksucker.
Oh, boy.
He's in deep shit, dude. He's trafficking, prostitution, money.
Yeah, Flo, why you got to put this on the Catholics, right? Like, they're generally good at getting away with this shit. It's usually like, I don't know, it's like crazy ass Baptist or something.
They are good at getting away with shit. I'm just wondering how this guy. I don't ultimately, in the scheme of things, I guess I don't know everything, and there was some more accusations here that might change my mind. But based off of
my wife,
if you have a tax script that works, more power to you in my book. He's not the one stealing from me. The IRS is the one stealing from me.
Well, that's what
my wife got a preacher taken down.
That's what I say is it's not him stealing from us. It's the fucking IRS.
But you're reporting him. You're helping the IRS enforce their bullshit.
Oh, dude, our group is probably sending over 500 reports on this guy, dude. There's mainstream media fucking putting this shit on blast. Like, yo, this guy has been revoked and he's still getting fucking exemptions. The IRS is still issuing the exemptions to this person. What the fuck?
So who's the bad guy in this dynamic, though?
I'd say it's 50-50. I'd say it's the IRS, the government, for not pulling their head out of their fucking ass, first of all, right? The feds. Well, I've actually called the local county appraisals because when you're in a 501c3, you're allowed one property exemption. That's it. You're allowed one parcel exemption. This motherfucker's trying to take 3 in 3 different states.
So I guess why are you doing I said that I think the IRS is the thief. I think the IRS is the one taking the money from me.
They are.
And you agreed, but then you're helping enforce the IRS.
Because that money goes to the debt.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Not if it's not distributed, it's not going to pay down the debt. They're not going to pay down the debt with it.
The Teddy Spaghetti thinks I'm a meth user. Every day, bro. Right when
Teddy fucks with people. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I am from the 90s and I do have a meth conviction. So
but I'm about to smoke a fucking dab right now. You guys.
So definition clarification, please. Would this be defined as snitching?
This would be defined as snitching.
Okay.
Yes, it would.
And flow state.
Hey, you know what?
We thank
people.
We thank your group. We thank your group for your service.
Make stupid people famous. 501c3.
I remember when my mother-in-law died, and we went to probate, and this dude's name popped up in the will.
The guy he's talking about?
No, a different guy, a different preacher, and his name popped up in the will for a third of everything. Well, when we started investigating,
that happened,
and got the feds involved. It appears this guy had $3 million worth of coke in the church when they called him. But we went through hell trying to get this guy removed from the probate system. But we finally succeeded. He lost his accreditation as a preacher. Oh yeah, he had a hell of a scam going.
Yeah, and there's another one that got busted by the feds last year. It's called House of Prayer Christian Church. They were taking veteran funds, dude. The church.
Oh boy,
you heard about it, right, Caucasian?
Dude, that was one of them that triggered me so freaking hard. Not because I knew anybody involved in it, but because of how evil it was.
Motherfuckers. I'm a veteran myself, and what these guys were doing was they set up churches around these bases. The feds raided all these fucking churches all at one time, and they found out that this leader, that fucker, they don't know where the fuck that guy went, vanished like a fucking fart in the wind. That guy, you don't hear about him. That shit was brushed under the fucking rug. But hey, you know what he was doing? You know what that cult was doing? Was teaching the veterans. They were teaching the veterans how to basically maximize their fucking disability funds and their VA funds, and they were fucking taking the money from them.
Oh, Lord.
Uncle Sam found out, said, I can't do that, and the feds raided him. Probably quicker.
I wonder what happened to him.
Don't know where the fuck that guy went, dude. Mm-hmm. The leader of that fucking. No, we don't know.
He's probably just disappeared. You know,
it's communist pig. He actually went to Vietnam. Sorry.
You can look it up. It's called House of Prayer Christian Church. There was one in Georgia, Fayetteville. I think there was one near California, and they raided 5 or 6 fucking locations all at one time. Because these fucking cults were basically maximizing the veterans' pensions and the VA fucking education benefits and taking them, man.
So, which one do you want to like start a cult with me since it's so profitable?
It is. It's fucking super profitable, bro. Dude, you don't even got to be that good looking. You could be a piece of shit just with a fucked up hairline, dude. And all you got.
My surname is Jones. I think we should be able to get like a pretty good following here.
Yeah.
What
my first name's not Jim, but I mean,
hey, you could change your name to Jim, bro. You'd be fucking set.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Jim Jones Jr.
Hey man, FLDS, they did fucking free labor, bro. They weren't paying anybody.
Oh, labor's over here is like real cheap, so not a problem. I think it's like 22 cents an hour is about what it breaks down to.
Where you at, Commie Pig?
Communist Vietnam.
Oh shit, okay, cool. Right on. Good deal.
Yeah, that one's not a joke, but it is funny.
I was like, yeah, it is, and it's you think about it though, but fuck, man.
Yeah, Sasquatch gets a little upset with me because I advocate for communism.
Oh no, brother, I'm not upset. I just wish that one day you would realize that a bowl of rice is not quite as good as a whole house full of pimped out women.
Do you actually advocate for communism?
I hope not.
It's not wrong.
I'm waiting.
You can't argue against it.
Jones, are you a commie?
Oh no, another top
yes.
follower.
Oh my fucking God. I don't know that I can handle you much. If you next thing I'm gonna what else could you be? The only thing that you could be is what? Yeah,
so
make your
all
best
of the
case for
other
communism.
Okay. So let's start with the clarification of what I am. So I am the only card-carrying communist you will ever meet. Every other fucker that gets on the damn panel talking about, oh, I'm a commie. They're just at an idea. I have a card. I literally have a card.
I went to college.
Well, it's not about the college thing. It's literally, it's a requirement here. So if you own a business.
In college, in higher education, where communism is its most trendiest, you don't think I met another card-carrying communist?
How can you
pretty much
have a business over there and work for the State Department?
It's okay. So this is actually tax purposes. So corporate tax rate here is it starts out at 4%. And every year it increases 1% till it gets to, I think, a flat rate of 18%. New York, same business, starts out at 33%. So now that would seem like a really good incentive, or that's a pretty good incentivization there. Plus, on top of that, like New York is kind of problematic with wage setting.
When I took my oath to the Constitution, you weren't allowed to be a card-carrying member of any subversive group.
I want to hear that. I don't care about your card. Your card is retarded. You should be embarrassed.
Okay. Now my argument for communism.
You should be just embarrassed. Go ahead.
Okay. Now the argument for communism. Communism generates, or communist states generates huge numbers of cheap labor. So if you want like a very low paid wage force, this is how you get about it. So I don't advocate communism for the U.S. I advocate for other shitty ass countries to be communist, because then we can exploit their labor and fuck off.
You did take an oath to the Constitution, didn't you?
Yes, sort of.
Yes, sort of.
It's not.
And we wonder what's wrong with the government.
Say that. It's do you really believe that, what you're saying?
Yes, hell, the State Department believes this shit too.
Yeah, I don't know. Usually this communism, the whole saying is the left wing and the right wing make up the same bird. I don't know how much you've actually researched about the origins of communism and the groups.
Yeah. You guys are talking about the ideology of it. I'm talking about the economics of it.
No. Wishy-washy bullshit talk. Because the reality is, if you're for communism, or whether it's economics or this and that, it's like it's all part of a game they want you to fucking play, right? To get this left and right dynamic going on. When the remedy we need to be fucking good people and have a good life isn't in these ideologies that they've pushed on us these last couple hundred years. Anyway, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not aggressive.
No, I get it. My argument's not based off of any moral claim. I mean, unless capitalism is making moral claims, which is news to me. No, I'm not making that at all. It's purely a damn it. It's like if you would want your enemies. Say your competition, other countries, you would want them to be in the least position, or the position of least ability for negotiation. If all you have is cheap labor to offer to the trade system, why not use it?
Yeah. But what about this? How about we all be honest and we give fair value to fair value and have a fair contract going out. And
what is fair value?
Reduction in standard of living.
That's this one.
Yeah.
I get fair value. It's whatever you're willing to pay for it, bro.
Yeah.
We're all guilty of being part of the system, the machine. We're all talking to each other on electronic devices made off slave labor in China, probably bought on Amazon. And so to sit on here and pretend like we're not part of the problem is
buddy, I got 4 fucking orangutans right now shoveling snow, my snow route.
Hey, slave labor right here in my fucking hand, dude.
Right.
I got there's three Samsung assembly plants here in Vietnam.
But
3.
employees are not I'm not talking about employees, Hardhat. I'm talking about actual fucking slaves.
Oh, they got some sweatshops here.
Are you're not in China with the what are they called? The
they got sweatshops here in Vietnam. Fuck China. You don't even have to go that far.
Nobody's impressed by your Nike sweatshops, loser.
The Uyghurs. Dude,
I think Nike. We don't have a Nike here that I'm aware of.
Hey, go to China.
That's that black dick dangling by your face.
That's not what I meant to hit.
Wow.
Hey, go to China and stand with the Bible on the street corner and fucking start preaching and see what happens.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be able to enter China.
Yeah, you end up in a fucking prison camp.
Yeah.
I can't get it. I can't get into China. I can't go back to Iran, and I can't enter Russia.
Damn, really?
I don't even know if I can get into Canada.
My brother went to China. He was offered a teaching job, and as soon as he got in country, they snatched his passport.
What?
Yep.
That's
so
concerning.
he couldn't leave.
Oh, they do that here in Vietnam.
It took him a year and a half to get out.
Damn.
Yeah, they do.
Fucking snatch his passport up. That's scary.
They do that here in Vietnam.
He had to sneak into the embassy to get out.
Okay, make famous people stupid again. You should be famous.
I'd make it punished by death for the next 5 years to own more than 5 million property assets or money. Yeah.
Okay, the problem with this is that it wouldn't last because that's the nature of wealth and humanity. People aren't equal.
Nope.
Things are constantly changing and shifting. In order to have pure equal distribution of assets, that means nobody could sell, nobody could earn.
Equal distribution.
All you would do is reset it, and then it would just go right back to the way it is.
That's socialism, equal distribution.
It takes all the classes to function ultimately in economics. Lower class can't function without the middle class. Middle class, fucking upper class needs the middle and lower class to function. It's a fucking pecking shitty order, man. And the fucking.
Well, I mean, it just everything in that every organism on Earth has to exert effort to survive. And communism or socialism or any sort of Marxist ideology is basically a childish, stunted ideology of greed, in my opinion.
And working brings dignity if done correctly.
I agree.
Rat Bastard, did you manage to get your name? Yep. There we go.
Rat Bastard.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, he's a good sport. We're all having fun.
He is a good sport. I'm glad that I forget to warn people, so I'm glad you did. Oh, and
I got thick skin, bro. I've had cease and desist, death threats, dude. I don't give a fuck, dude. People do videos about me, kiss my fucking ass.
And hey, you should drop a link to your channel backstage. I put the links to everybody's channel in the description box after the stream over. So if you want yours included, throw a link down there and I'll put it there.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Is that cool if I do? I don't do that unless I'm asked, dude. Okay, cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool, man.
Oh yeah, I'm nasty too. I'm definitely nasty. I'm gonna go after DeFreak. First chance I get, I'm a fucking real good. But
the failure of capitalism, it's a failure of democracy. Democracy lets people vote other people's money, and regulation of business that creates barrier to entries. So capitalism, in its true form, free market capitalism hasn't failed. Democracy has. This is what we're living in is not capitalism either. It's honestly it's closest to fascism as far as an economic system goes because the winners and losers, the winners at least, are chosen by the state via contracts. You
like
cannot be a mega corporation in the U.S. without participating with contracts with the U.S. government.
Yeah,
we are not a democracy. Never were. Anyone who thinks you're in a democracy needs to go back to your basic civics class and reread a few books.
Okay, that's correct. But because people think we're a democracy, that means that the people can vote, they can pass things, and then everybody's like, "Well, did you vote?" And they're like, "Yeah, I voted for president." And they're like, "Okay, well, we wanted this."
Damn, I hate to break the news to you, Sasquatch. Civics class is over with. I'm 40. It was not a thing when I went to school. My mother, however, she's 74. She had that class.
Thank you, Chuck, for the members that look at it.
That is such an odd
I
way.
love that carpet bombing. Yeah,
It's pretty dope, isn't it?
To demonstrate money being thrown, but I like it. It's so manly.
I had 14 years in the service. That carpet bombing does something for me.
I'm glad I can do it for you. You do it for me, Chuck. And
all right.
And for all the people in the chat who just got lit up with free memberships.
I don't even know how many I bought.
20.
Oh shit.
Meant to buy a quarter of that.
You might want to give me a refund.
Hey, this ain't Jack's panel.
Well, he said he'd give me a 200% refund.
Right. No, this guy's not a communist. He's a definite capitalist. He will keep your money.
Yes. Because I respect people's right to own property, and I respect people's I think that there's dignity in work and they deserve to be paid for their work. More than I think that lazy ass fucking college kids deserve to have free healthcare that they won't even use.
Oh, these little college fucks these days are little fuckers, man. These little fuckers, man.
They won't even go to work.
No, dude. You want to hear some shit? My fucking cousin, dude, hit me up the other day. He's like, "Hey, can I have some money?" Dude, one of my cousins I never fucking talked to. I was like, "What the fuck, dude?" And I called my aunt. I was like, "Yo, what's up?" And he kind of told me the story. I was like, "Look, dude, I laid it on him thick." My mom's like, "Oh, just be gentle to him." I was like, "Yo, fuck that. I'm gonna lay it on him thick." And I did. I was like, "Yo, dude, look, it's a fucking tough world. Grab your fucking balls, get a fucking job." Dude blew through a $250,000 settlement. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? You're kidding me.
How fast?
Within a year and a half.
There's drugs involved in that, son.
He bought 2 cars. You know, he didn't invest it wisely, and he's a young kid. Is all, dude. If I had that 250 grand, I would have fucking invested most of it, put it in some high.
How old was he?
Dude, 20 something maybe. Dude,
what'd you have at his age?
I was in the military at his age, dude.
So you would have gotten the 27% interest Camaro and then lost it in a 3-car pile up on Interstate 7.
But I didn't. That's the thing. I didn't though. And I just laid it on him thick. I was like, "Yo, dude, fuck you. Get a job." I was like, "I love you. I'm telling you this because I love you." I was like, "You can't go around asking for money." I was like, "Dude, everybody's fucking hurt right now, dude." And I was like, "You need to just stop your fucking Amazon job and go get a real fucking job, dude."
Damn, what's with the hatred of the Camaro? I had an IROC. Couldn't afford the fucking insurance, but you know, I barely afford the car.
I don't hate. Well, nowadays it would be a Dodge
Charger. Champions of dead cold.
Oh, he does.
What?
He's an ortho. I think he's an ortho bro. You know, the cult with where their symbol is like the dead corpse on the cross, and their ritual every I mean, not there's 2 rituals. One is like eating fake body and drinking fake blood. The other ritual is paying money into the bowl that they pass around.
Wait a second. One. I thought that was.
I go to Bohemian Grove every year. What's wrong with that?
If it applies, it applies.
Make stupid people famous has a good point. He's like, you can move to Peru for $5,000, buy land $100 an acre, and manufacture blow for $3.70 a kilo.
Yeah,
probably.
And then get free bullets delivered right to your door.
All right.
I'm telling you, dude. I have sat and watched his live streams being the only
person. Oh shit!
Listen to him rant. Excellent ideas all night long, playing a 2-string guitar and shotgun and gears.
I love it. Go down, manufacture some fucking Peruvian blow, huh? Like, start slinging out your back door.
I wonder what the margin on that is, though. I mean, and he's got what's the profit margin per key? Because it looks like, just judging by the numbers here, I think that you probably got your research in it.
Oh, dude. I don't know.
If I had to guess, I would say yes. My man has done a little bit of research in that specific department.
If it's good blow, like if it's not all stepped on, it's probably get top dollar for it.
Well, if you're in Colombia,
the wholesale rate for a Colombian producer versus what you pay at the club, that's two totally different
things. Yeah.
That's why we need automatic weapons.
That's why we need to legalize all drugs.
Home defense nuke.
Drop them on the spot.
See, when I was at station in Europe, in Holland and Netherlands and Amsterdam, drugs are legal there, man, and they have a low ass fucking crime rate.
I know it's
weird.
It makes sense though when you consider that drugs are incredibly cheap to produce, but they're worth more than gold by weight because of the illegality. So you've got artificially inflated prices. You've got whole industry. You've got black markets. You've got gangs, organized crime,
fake drugs.
Yep.
Fake drugs. Yep.
Now it's like shit you just touch and you fucking die.
I'll tell you what always used to make me mad about this situation. In order to get the least addictive and least damaging drug on earth, marijuana, you have to deal with people that sell meth, flocka, crack, and run women.
I know, right? That's why I just want to grow my own shit. Once Texas passes the laws, it'd be nice, man. It'd be nice.
Dude, I'm in Georgia. You'll probably get that ability about 6 months after I do.
Yeah, I'll be glad when that reverses.
Man, they just need to do away with it. I know the Republicans are already on board with it, so that's a good thing. Once they're on board with it, it starts moving up the chain. So we'll see what happens. They need to pull their head out of their ass though and just be away with it. Fucking just give it up to veterans already. Like, goddamn, man. Making veterans fucking go on the street for it. Just fucking give it to us.
Dude, make stupid people famous. Stop it, dude. We're not asking for a master class in this. We're just curious about a few people.
That's what they want. Don't you people see that? That's what they want.
Is what?
They want a dumber society.
Yes.
Get everybody high and they're easier to control. Don't you guys see that?
Chuck, has prohibition worked?
They ain't gonna get. I'm a fucking man. I smoke in and out. And I'm a fucking A student, dude.
I'm not saying that drugs are good. What I'm saying is prohibition doesn't solve the problem. It exacerbates it. It creates profit surrounding it. So you've got more supply. It creates a massive prison industrial complex that destroys families and ruins lives. The most harmful thing, aside from overdose and dying, it basically only applies to needle users who are sloppy. The worst possible thing that could happen from substance abuse is cops.
Did any of you guys ever read Oil on the Brain?
No.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Caucasian Sasquatch knows what I'm talking about. And like what he's talking about, fucking Congolese warlord can fucking call an oil company and say, hey, I'm going to bomb a pipeline. And guess what it does to the prices of oil? Shoots him through the fucking roof.
Even if he doesn't.
Even if he doesn't bomb it. Even the threat of bombing it can offset prices. Same with human trafficking. Remember when Trump said he was going to build that wall? Guess what that did? Fucking offset the price of a human big time. Guess what?
You mean it increased it?
Absolutely. It went from $2,000 a head to fucking $7,000 a head now.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Straight up. Guess what? Human trafficking, more lucrative, more costly.
I know that when Biden got into office, he ushered in a lot of an increase in demand for border crossing. I hadn't even considered really how the wall would have impacted it, but it makes perfect sense.
And it's the same thing with Oil on the Brain, like we were talking about. It's just even the implication of like, hey, I'm gonna do this. It's gonna make everything more lucrative, man. Same thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Initially, the hole you'll go blind from moonshine is rabbit hole.
All right, so I've got a bit of experience on that particular topic. This whole going blind from moonshine thing is largely derived from the fact that when they first started denaturing alcohol, nobody really said nothing about it. So in order to sell like isopropyl alcohol. They had to denature it, which makes it poisonous. It wasn't that they went out and poisoned stills in the mountains out there and then sold it to people. So that no, what happened is they collected the alcohol, denatured it, and then put it back into the supply. That was a direct thing done by the government to dissuade you from purchasing, making.
They poison people.
Yes, because of the Tuskegee experiment, like this was common.
They're fucking poisoning people over and make you go blind so you don't drink.
Yeah, they wanted to. Well, not only that, there. If you go look back in the time period, you'll find something called shaky disease, and this is a byproduct of drinking just enough denatured alcohol mixed with regular alcohol that it causes a neurological condition, but doesn't actually make you go blind, and you end up like you got a palsy.
Can't spell it. They did purposely poison it.
I did that without the denatured alcohol. I did it on regular alcohol.
Yeah, but you can. But the difference is denatured alcohol requires this much, whereas it takes weeks of drinking regular.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's not poisonous, but they didn't purposely poison it in the sense that they actually poured poison into the bottle. They denatured it.
They invented LSD to cure alcoholism.
And LSD was invented as a substitute for aspirin and was
still
utilized.
you can make alcohol from anything that's got sugar and yeast. In jail, we took the bread crust off of our sandwiches and mixed it with water and the sugar. They give us bowls of cereal through the bean hole with sugar already on it. We just shake the sugar off in our hands. That's all you need to make. Alcohol is super simple to make.
Oh, yeah. You can use fruit too, as the sugar. Like you could use fruit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You use carrots.
Yeah. Okay. Potatoes, vodka. I mean,
potatoes.
You can take nothing but the potato peels from the potatoes and make alcohol of it.
Yeah, I had potato schnapps in Germany. That stuff's hideous.
All schnapps is gross.
I don't know, man. It's not a schnapps. We used to do a moonshine where we would dump a big old pile of spearmint into the jar, let it sit for a while, and then take the spearmint pieces out and filter it. It'd have a light green color like absinthe, except that stuff would clear your sinuses out, bro.
I think the nastiest shit I had in Germany was Obstler.
Is that Scheisse?
Scheisse? It's German moonshine, man. It is.
Oh.
We're not here to discuss your sexual proclivities in Germany.
I thought we were talking about gross things from Germany, and I just
no, we're talking moonshine, German moonshine.
That sounds horrible.
I've only had moonshine one time. It was the apple cinnamon kind. It tasted fine. It gave me I don't get heartburn. That shit fucked me up.
Yeah. Cinnamon will do that.
My uncle made some apple moonshine.
The good thing about regular moonshine is if you run out of gas, you can make it to the gas station.
That's facts. Although you don't want to run it too long, man.
That is true. It'll get hot. It'll get real hot.
It's not the heat so much as it is the fact that alcohol cuts oil way better than gasoline do.
Oh yeah.
Corn makes Everclear. Yeah. Corn mash makes Everclear, I think, right? That's what they use. That's
I don't know. I got a bottle here. I have to look.
Everclear is a wheat and wheat product. It's not done anymore. Moonshine is illegal because it's made from corn, because you can take 5 acres of corn and put it in a jar this big and it's still worth 5 acres of corn.
Well, I remember you saying that it was a currency competitor.
Yeah. That's what ethanol plants are.
Honey's
ethanol plants are tax bullshit.
No, but they're just a big moonshine plant.
Oh, right. You know, if we were serious about any of the environmental or any of this shit at all, we would be recycling plastic into fuel, and we'd kill two birds with one stone. Bounce on it.
Yeah. Absolutely, dude. If any of this shit actually mattered, they would take 2 steps back and go, wait, we're going to stop sending all of our plastic to China for recycling. We're going to keep it and process it and all of our used cooking oil, all of our burned motor oil, everything that's already in the system and just being discarded would be utilized to try to help our energy situation. But that's not the purpose of all this. They want to mitigate your ability to control your own life by taxing and controlling every aspect.
You get fucking taxed on everything. Fuck, dude.
Sorry.
I'm looking for a clip that, like, it turns out all of my clips, I want to do something positive for you, Sasquatch, after that, but turns out, like, all my little video clips are derogatory. This is the closest thing I got to positive.
I can't wait to get my dick wet.
It doesn't really fit, but it's what we're rolling with.
Maybe the Utopia one.
The Utopia one? I do like the Utopia one, but that one creeps out Sasquatch.
Do what?
Jack liked it.
The Utopia one.
All negative emotions will be relinquished. All feeling will neutralize. You will be able to live a fully functional, satisfactory experience in a completely safe utopia.
I do not like.
Baby.
Why do you?
That's why I didn't play it for you. I already knew it creeped you out.
That's that place. I don't even know. That place can't possibly exist. It's a bathroom.
Not yet, but when Jack Talcott gets in charge, guess what?
I'm not going to have a choice. Hey, but I have an alternative proposal. I would like to take those people, for instance, like Jack Talcott. We'll get a double handful of my buddies. They'll go over and work them over with a blowtorch and a pair of pliers. And when it's done, they will volunteer for our military.
Oh. And then we can have peace when they stop resisting.
Hey, guys, I'm going to head on out. I got to get to sleep. I got to get up and get some schoolwork.
Hey, thanks for joining. Thanks for being a good sport about the thing. Stop snitching on people, but come back again.
Stop snitching on people.
And I'll link you below after the thing. So.
No,
Yep.
You need to unhook it before you leave, or it will keep right on sharing it.
Well, I didn't stream it to another. I saw that. I just streamed to my audience.
And don't forget that Rat Bastard is your name next time you join a StreamYard thing somewhere. So
that's cool. Yeah.
Right on.
Thanks for having me.
I've sent people off, and they've gone into different chats with names that they got here.
Yeah, you can change it now.
Yeah, Joe Cool was Sweet Cheeks. He didn't even realize it when he was on a different panel. He's trying to like broker some peace between two channels. And he's sitting there with Sweet Cheeks as his name.
I didn't even know he said there was Sweet Cheeks as his name. Shit.
I showed up as
thanks, man.
Chuck Talcott.
Thank you.
Peace out, brother.
Time, man. Thanks. See you guys.
All right. Yeah, Chuck Talcott didn't work very well. I showed up on a panel like, what the hell is this?
Yep.
Hey,
it's a good idea. Chuck Talcott's not a bad idea. Hint, chat, wink, wink.
Yeah, $2.
Wink, no.
Or Jack Talcott, just straight up pilfer.
Do you want the rain to stop?
No.
All right, then. It's called.
I still want. Yeah, we still got to figure out how much. I don't want the damn rain to stop. What is it Snafu said about me?
We need to get
who's in it. Who's in it for the money and who's in it for the conversation?
Right. And Flow State's absolutely in for the fucking money. 1 million trillion dillion %. He's a fucking grifting fuck.
Those goddamn billionaires.
You need Lindsay up here to get more funds, buddy.
Lindsay don't even come on cam hardly ever when she's up. And Lindsay and Arpol both owe me money because Lindsay wouldn't came up one time she was up here, so that lost me some money. And what did Arpol do? Arpol did something else. So maybe it was the same thing. He wouldn't come up at all.
Well, hell, I'm ugly as fuck, and I came up.
Can I twist the topic a little bit?
You can twist whatever you like.
Okay, yeah, baby. So here's a point that I want to make about the food sources we have here in America that are being utilized. None of it existed 50, 100 years ago. None of this crap existed. The modern corn plants are Frankensteinian monsters that have been created over the past 50 years. Same thing for your squashes, your pumpkins, your beans, your peas, all that stuff. So when you have people who are doing gardening things and they go out and say, hey, I'm going to do the Three Sisters method of planting. Hold up. Wait a minute. You are planting 3 Frankensteinian monsters in the same plot, expecting the results that they got 500 years ago when there were 17 kernels of corn on a freaking piece of freaking corn.
It was like baby corn, wasn't it?
Well, no, it's a little different. Maize is a funny thing. Sometimes they were little and really colorful. Sometimes they were long, but only had a handful of rows. You know, it just depended on the area the maize come from.
I do know that corn is Frankenstein biology, and I mean, I don't try hard at all, but like I try to. It makes corn products like corn chips, like just pure corn things. Here's the thing: I got to think that the drop in testosterone in males might have something to do with the fact that we're eating sterilized food, right? I don't know. It's pure speculation, but it holds some logical sense to me.
There's another comment in here. What did it say? I missed it. Hold on. Did we make orange? Okay.
As if anybody waits until they have something to add to join on. That's not the threshold.
Not at all.
But yeah, do whatever you like.
Oranges are kind of a unique kind of plant in that they're
oranges
common. Oranges are citrus. There's no such thing as an orange. The orange is a subspecies of citrus, and from kumquats to grapefruit, that's all one family. These things
really
cross-pollinate. All oranges are clones of a specific orange tree, just like Granny Smith apple trees are clones of a specific apple tree.
I did some permaculture here at this house, even though like I rented, and I don't think I'll be here when the trees ever produce fruit. But I was unpleasantly surprised to learn that my one apple tree ain't going to do shit.
Nothing.
I bought another one.
I have planted 4 separate apple trees. I planted one when I first moved in. That sucker looks glorious, has never made an apple because I can't get the second one to actually live in a different spot in the yard. So,
Sasquatch, this Major Facepalm has a solid point.
Okay, no, I'm not debating the entertainment value of food. I mean, you got to admit corn mazes are freaking awesome, but you wouldn't want to go out there and try to survive on it.
Yeah. What else? What did we eat before that? Do you know? Before we had the FDA basically selecting crops through subsidization. How is the diet different?
Mayor lemons are a little bit of an exception. Lemon is slightly separate from the rest of the citrus. It is far enough deviated in time that it doesn't easily crossbreed back with the general citrus family. What I'm getting at is if you have a Mayor lemon, it should produce something very similar to a Mayor lemon if you plant a seed from a Mayor lemon, but as long as you don't, it wasn't crossbred with anything that wasn't a lemon tree, right? However, if you were to take that lemon tree out into an orange grove and plant the seed from those lemons, which will be a lemon just like you expect, when you plant it, the lemons may come up as what are those things called? Those weird sweet lemons, like kind of like key limes kind of thing. I can't remember what they're called. There's these sweet lemons out there that are not sweet at all. They're just slightly sweeter than a normal lemon, but it might not be yellow. It might not be green. It might be round and not lemon shaped, you know, little things.
Is you make stupid people famous? Are you playing, or is that like, or do you? What's with this comment? I can't tell if it's like a sarcastic joke or if it's like an actual belief. Not that I think it's probably accurate. I'm just curious.
I'm going to assume that man lives in the middle of freaking nowhere. If anybody sat around and done nothing but read the Bible due to lack of entertainment.
Does the Bible say that? The Bible didn't even say that, does it?
No, the Bible does not say that.
It gives reference to a number of plants collected and a number of how many wheats, how many barleys, stuff like that. That was put on Noah's Ark, and it's derived from the multiplication of those forward. So, and as far as from Adam, I'm not sure it refers to that at all in the Garden of Eden. It just speaks on all of the plants of the earth were to support the human population, essentially.
Cynthia.
Yes.
Have you ever looked up keeping secrets in the Bible?
No.
It talks about it, and it goes against everything Jack says about secrets.
What's it say?
Oh, I can't get to it right now.
Because you're in your chair?
Because I'm on my stupid phone, you jackass.
He's talking about the Apocrypha, some of the Apocrypha over there, some of the missing books. These are ancient.
No. It's in the actual
I'm talking about making
printed
stupid
Bible. Oh, okay.
Him.
Gotcha. Go ahead.
He's just referenced the books of Ezra specifically, and those are not exactly part of the Bible, you know.
I was suspicious. I was thinking maybe they weren't, but I'm rusty on my Bible. It's been, how old am I? God, it's been a long fucking time since I read the
Bitch,
Bible.
I'm a Bible belt. You can't get away from it here. You read the Bible riding down the road on all those freaking signs in front of every other church. It's liquor store, church, gun store, liquor store, church. That's the hood.
And all of those things prey on people's problems.
Oh my God. It's strategic marketing.
Oh, you think that there's so much sin there that they need more churches?
It's opportunities.
It is. That's true. I mean, I will give you that. It's like buying a lottery ticket.
We got this strip over here in the hood. And understand, I'm a small town. Our hood's very small. But there is a Zionist church, a Black Israelite church, and a Catholic church on the same block.
Yeah.
Something seems wrong there.
Well, Chris, Mike, come up here. I'll drop the link if you want it, if you want to join. We're pretty nice to most people. You might get your name changed, and if you love cops, you might get argued with.
I don't know.
I love cops. I love cops.
I'm streaming. This stream is going to 5 different places right now. So, yeah, none of you are responsible to me for anybody that comes up off a different.
All right. That's Chris Milk. Maleke. Anyway, there is a link at the top of my chat. You click it and it'll bring you to the same show in a different chat. It's exactly the same thing. It looks the same, but the chat's got 50 or 60 people in it and not 3 or whatever's over there.
Well, I do this pretty regularly. If you subscribe to Flow State, then you can get it in the future.
I have one person watching, and I'm actually watching it. So shout out to me.
Is this to me?
You know, Cynthia, Jack kind of put you under the carpet again tonight.
It's okay.
Before you made your little farewell speech.
I saw it. It's okay.
I'm like, wow. Like a little street urchin.
Oh, dang. It's all good, Chuck. It doesn't matter. We got bigger. I have bigger things in mind.
Well, cool.
Indeed.
Shout out to the lurkers. You know, yeah.
Flo, have you gotten a free membership give out yet?
What do you free? Oh, I don't have the capacity to give out memberships.
They just started.
I thought they made it to where you
They do?
I thought they made it to where you can give out 3 a month.
Oh, if they did, I did not know about it until right now.
It's 5 a month.
I have not. But I will probably have to do that. Of course, it's only $1. You know, it's the best value on YouTube. Making it affordable for the common man.
You can't pick though. It's just random like the rest of it.
Okay.
Who is John talking about? Me?
John and Angela are fighting. They need to sit in their corners.
Oh.
Who?
And yeah, John goes both places. So did I jumped into Paul's a couple times earlier today just for a moment. Both times to hear him talking about me. But I did see the Freak was down there because Paul was bitching about me about my memberships or some part of the financial aspect of this, right? He hates other people getting money. And I saw the Freak was suggesting that Paul make a bet to me that nobody would kick him off the panel for the night for the full $50, which I thought was a fantastic idea, and I appreciate the Freak for such a fantastic suggestion. But of course, that would require Paul to come up on my panel.
He's not going to go anywhere he can't control.
Not for very long.
He's going to be all right.
Hey, Flo, how long are you going to be live tonight? Do you have any clue?
I don't.
Are we talking coffee length of time or like I should call up somebody special length of time? No, seriously. I'm fixing to go get a cup of coffee.
Go get a cup of coffee. I plan on being here at least that long.
Okay.
Somebody special.
Your house. Don't answer the door.
Oh Lord.
All right,
so yeah, the fee. So the price schedule is that you can kick somebody off for the rest of the night for $50, but they can still be bought back if somebody wants to pay to have them returned. If you want to kick somebody off all night and not have them returned, it's $75.
I've heard change now.
Like till the end.
It's just for a night. I've considered doing longer bands, but the minute and the caveat is me. The full price thing layout is in the description box of the video, but prices for me are double. The very first time I ever had a kickoff thing, not to change my name is the same as everybody. To kick me off my own panel, that's double. But also to buy me back is also double. So I kind of make it fair, at least try to by
give myself. If I could run a panel and not be on screen, bro.
I'm an extrovert though. Like the very first night that I ever put this price thing out, I was thinking, I was like, I hadn't put the thing about me in, and I was like, maybe I should address what happens if somebody tries to kick me off. And I was like, no, that probably won't happen. And I put it down, and the very fucking first thing that comes in is somebody pinged me from my own panel for the full night.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Luckily, a couple people pulled their money to get me back on because I was, and I'm not gonna shut the channel or the stream down or something after that. Like I've got to at least honor
that. That is why me and you can see eye to eye. We can disagree on all kinds of different shit, but there is a certain point where you just don't cross that line. You're like, okay, well, I made an agreement. I'm going to stick to the agreement and follow through with the agreement. You know,
what's right is what's right.
Any number of other people in this environment, I hate seeing myself on panel, and yet I can see what happens when I take my face off a panel, especially my own panel, you know. I'm gone. Like people just walk out as soon as I'm not visible. They want to see me make a fool of myself, and they want to see it with their own eyes.
Well, you're beautiful.
It grows in all white and trashy like this, dude.
And you bring the thunder of God with you and stuff. That lightning going.
Unlimited power.
Hey, okay, yeah. Get your coffee. And I'll ask that question later. Is it a technical one? It's not anything interesting. I feel like I left him on a cliffhanger there. Like, what's he going to ask me about? It's not just about how something works. It's a pretty boring question. I accept this offer. What do you have to offer to the conversation, Lindsay?
Nothing. Oh wait, test 1 2 syphilis.
Turn that camera on.
Gonorrhea.
Hey, I'm shy.
I want to see the camera on.
Oh, this is getting creepy now. Cynthia gets to turn her camera off.
Yeah, I'm working.
I want to be anonymous too.
Yeah.
You got the wrong name.
Okay, well, I can hop off too because I don't have a whole lot to add. I wanted to ask Cynthia a question.
Sure, go ahead.
For it.
I wanted to ask you what you thought of Jack today at what he said at the beginning of the stream and how you felt about Chuck getting kicked and if you have changed your opinion on Jack at all.
So I have not seen the beginning of the stream.
To you, Lindsay.
Is the beginning of the stream, is the question worth taking a look at it? I don't know how long it is or short it is, but
the beginning of the stream is important. It is.
It's from our conversation last
Should I play?
Yeah. And then, so it was, how did I feel about the beginning of the stream? I mean, I really like Jack, and I'm glad to see that he's attempting to take control of his panel, as anyone should, regardless of, anything, because that's his panel, his show, his whatever, him. So I'm glad to see that he took control of it.
I'm gonna cam down and do we want to watch this together, or should I just
No, you can watch it together. But then she asked me that, how did I feel about the Chuck? Like, I have to respect it at this point. I went in there and said I'm done. And I'm not saying like I'm done with Jack. Like, I'm saying like I can't no longer judge it. I can't look at it from, oh my God, why are they doing this to Jack? Or I can't be like, that's what you deserve, Jack. Like, I severed ties with that. And not in the sense like I don't like Jack, I'm never going to be around, but I can't be connected to him or anybody that doesn't want me to be connected to them.
And all I did was make a comment to Lindsay. It wasn't even directed at Jack, and he just automatically kicked me.
Right.
Is it right at the beginning?
Yeah, pretty much right. Like in the first 5-10 minutes, he's saying something.
Okay. Well, here I'll find it. I'll find where it starts, and then so I don't.
He gets into our conversation we had last night.
Oh, I figured that's what that was about. That's why I asked if I should watch it first, because I'm sure it applies to me as well, or involves me at least.
Yeah, it does.
Because I noticed two things. Are we already playing the video? Are you just finding it right now so I can say something?
Yeah.
I'm finding the starting spot, so you can go ahead.
Okay. One thing was that Cynthia laughed at a semi kind of sarcastic, semi put down, kind of friendly, the kind of joking you do with a friend, but it has some truth to it, and you're just teasing them, but it's kind of like at the same time a little stab.
What did they say?
And she laughed at Chuck saying that, so I knew right when I came in the room that Cynthia wasn't fully feeling Chuck, because she was kind of laughing with Jack, because Cynthia was kind of laughing alongside Chuck. So I figured out from then that something had already gone on, but I didn't know what it was. And then Chuck asked me if I'd seen the beginning of the stream, right when Jack said that he's not watching the comments today and he's not reading. So Chuck felt like he was free to say that, hey, just check out the beginning of the video. And so I did, but that's what Chuck got kicked for. So, I mean, I came in late to the party, but that's why I asked. I was like, has your opinion changed about him? But now you're just saying, no, I'm not, it's kind of like saying I'm out of the race. I'm out of the, I'm not going to fight this kind of thing. It's not my fight.
He did state at the beginning that we were wrong about him being a bad teacher, that he actually is a good teacher. So
I didn't say that.
Yeah, I can't combat him and be like, no, you're a bad teacher. You know what I mean? Like, obviously he's made it clear, which he should, and I'm glad he has the strength to and the desire to, his stance. And he also stated he's not to be underestimated. So I have to
there were some implicit threats too, right?
Huh?
Did I hear that wrong? There were some
implicit threats. Well, he did, but how do you get mad at a man for protecting himself or defending himself or, sticking up for himself? I have no ill feelings towards Jack. I take nothing he says personal.
Well, I didn't assume anything. That's why I wanted to ask.
Yeah, no, I know.
I would apologize for the time it took, but I just don't really care what any of y'all think. So I'm back.
We don't care.
All right. Well, I think it does start right at the very beginning. So I got the speed cranked up a little bit. And I haven't seen this yet, so I'll take a look.
King's blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, here to share some time, some inspiration, some love. Some love is what I'm here to share today. You know, I've been so inspired, and then the time, it got away from me. I got lost in moments, just over and over. So again, today, brothers and sisters, I'm resisting the urge to invite others. So I hope you tune in and enjoy, right? Just, I'm going to do, excuse me, similarly to how I have in the past, but things are changing and things are
Here we go.
growing. Okay. I've been paying attention to a lot of the feedback I've received in the good and the bad. And, you know, life brings forth the good and the bad. And so yesterday I found myself in a situation where at the end of the day, I wasn't real proud of myself, to be honest. I found offense and criticism from people who I admire. From friends. I found offense and criticism from them being themselves. And what they were doing, they were talking about me with care, concern. And I jumped to conclusions, and I listened to the words I spoke, and I applied them to myself, which has become my practice. And some of the words I spoke which triggered them, which brought up some triggers, some reactions, was get off your high horse. Nobody likes to be told that. Duh. It felt right for the situation and the moment. And then it was pointed out that I was presenting myself as a victim, and I denied it. But I can see how I was. Casting my blame on my offense.
So far, okay, I know it's premature. So far, it seems like he's actually listened to shit.
Yeah,
he turns it around, though.
Okay.
No, but he... we'll
just play it.
That's my view on what I saw happening.
I'm not.
But I was
bad
honest
things here.
and I was authentic, and I feel for the most part polite. So I don't have regrets about what has happened, and I don't believe others do or should either. I know that there's been misunderstandings in my life abundantly, and I know a great part of that is because of the Jack, who I am. It's part of me. It's just who I am and the role that I've discovered for myself. And I'm going to get to the point here pretty soon. The points of today. We'll get out of the past soon. It was also pointed out to me that I'm not necessarily a good teacher. I'm a good student who enjoys sharing. And those words are true. Those words are true.
Did you say
I am
that,
a
Phil?
good student who enjoys sharing.
I said it.
Oh, okay.
What I've been learning. And that's what I've been doing. For those who have been tuning in, I come up, you know, I present myself in live stream, and I'm working through some of the new complex ideas that I'm learning from others. And I spend a lot of time seeking out intellectuals. It's what my heart desires. I love learning. I love spending time in complex concepts, trying to understand different sciences and details. It's me. That's what I enjoy. It's what I discovered. And so the observation was true that I am a good student. There was something like along those lines. I'm a dedicated student for sure. And I do love sharing what I've been learning. And each day, because of what I've been learning, because of the life I've been living and the experience I've been sharing, I'm observing different things as well. I keep receiving different realizations and different inspirations that are coming forth from me, through me. And I'm excited to share those. So the other part of that, okay, so there's truth and untruth in all things. And so there's the truth in that part. But at some point,
I feel obligated to stop and say I disagree with that statement, even though it's probably tangent. It probably wasn't necessary for me to stop.
A student does become the teacher. And I've received, you know, I've received several courses in the military, received the postal indoctrination for their facilitator workshop training. I was a trainer for my union and for the United States Postal Service, not a teacher. I've then since studied psychology, sociology, anthropology, human sciences. Sciences in general is what I've been studying. Oh, and with a direct purpose of leadership. I've been studying from some of the top life coaches who are alive today.
I just want to pause real quick and say that.
Did you catch that?
Life coaches.
Did you catch it?
Well, I'm not sure what you're referring to. Maybe
the thing that Sasquatch is laughing about?
No, I don't think. I think I missed it. I got hung up when he said psychology, sociology, and anthropology, because he and Paul both lump those things together as if they're the same or similar things. It just shows an ignorance of those topics.
I always wonder why they add anthropology, but okay.
No shit. That's the one that really undermines the.
But I'm like, all right, what else?
Well, anthropology is a subject that you have to remain completely neutral on. So it's good for not taking sides, and it's good for observing and not determining which tribe or class or whatever it is better than another. And also it's just very descriptive depending on which part of anthropology you study in human behavior. It's really close to sociology, just has some history
It is close
in
to
it.
sociology. It's and archaeology.
It was a fascinating class.
I'm not saying it's not fascinating. I'm saying how does it apply? Both of them swing these things.
He's trying to say he feels like he thinks he's well-rounded because he's studied all the ologies.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm speaking to the people who have heard, and if you know, you know, but like Paul does it more than Jack does, but both of them, they always list those three things in a row, right? So this is a loop and a repetition that some people have heard. I just wanted to point out that this loop is not. I hear you, and I just think that you're not right.
And well, can you?
I think it sounds. I feel like I think that he's listing them off just because they sound right together to him.
I'm trying to think of a neutral way to view this.
Okay, if you're a life coach, like you could see how psychology could help.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
But if you were, right? If you were,
no.
Psychology makes sense. Sociology.
What I'm trying to do, because we're all being presented with this thing here, is to play a little devil's advocate, because there's two sides to every story. So I try to consider how would this guy be seeing this? Why would he be saying this? And my answer is because he's constantly on the defensive because he feels attacked. So
Lindsay, we agreed that this was Attack Jack Dogpile. Okay, I'm just kidding. I see what you're doing. That's fine. I'll carry on.
Also, wait, one more thing.
No.
Jack, if you're here, please come up so that you don't feel like you're being attacked or talked about without being in the room.
After we're done watching the clip, though, because I haven't seen it and it'll be instantly distracting.
Okay, I'm shutting up.
You know, these coaches who actually work with executives, CEOs, the top level people. I've been studying those people to see what they're.
Oh, wait, what was it? Did I catch, Chuck?
The life bit.
The part about being the leader.
What did he say? Should I go back, or do you remember what he said?
I don't remember specifically.
He kind of went off and on the topic, touched on it again. And
I'll just jump it back a minute.
And he does.
I think it's important to point out that he definitely claimed, like he took stock of himself and understood where he had value, whether it's value that we agree with or disagree with. We need to acknowledge that he took the self to evaluate himself, and that's acknowledged.
And he took this all as an attack for sure. And I know you were being facetious, but because later on in the video, just to save time.
No, I wasn't being facetious.
No, I was.
Not in general, not you. Now I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, he felt like he was dogpiled on, so he implied a connection between him and Jesus, and that most people, the more they try to embrace and share the word and God, the more they're picked on and alienated. And so he felt picked on and alienated by the people that he respected, or some people that he really respected here. So he felt really hurt. And that's the long, short story.
Are you trying to prevent me from watching this?
No, go ahead.
Crank it.
Facilitator workshop training. I was a trainer for my union and for the United States Postal Service, not a teacher. I've then since studied psychology, sociology, anthropology, human sciences. Sciences in general is what I've been studying. Oh, and with a direct purpose of leadership. Leadership. I've been studying from some of the top life coaches who are alive today. You know, these coaches who actually work with executives, CEOs, the top level people. I've been studying those people to see what they're sharing with those leaders, right?
I've been studying leadership. Okay. And what I've discovered in all of my searches, all of my study, all of my experience, you know, the best example of leader the world has known, honestly, facts prove it, I think, Jesus Christ, Yeshua, the one who died because the world couldn't stop sinning, perhaps.
What the fuck? Jesus died.
So here's what I know. There's ways and methods to our minds and how the mind works. There is a reason that there is a teacher and student relationship, a guru and a disciple. There's a reason those relationships are effective. They work because the student places themselves into a place where they're willing to receive, a place of humility, where they're honest and seeking the answers. When a student is ready to learn, we can learn anything when we try. When we choose to know something, when we choose to understand, if there is a good teacher there, a teacher who is patient, one who is understanding, you know, one who's maybe able to explain things in multiple ways. Hello, that's me. Okay. This claim that I'm not a good teacher, that's a bunch of nonsense that's being made up. Okay. So far, this was one of my realizations. I don't know to share this one or not. It's this is documentation. It's a part of the documentary that's being shown, my life. Eventually someone will want to join. We'll put these pieces together, put these clips together and all this stuff, man. We're going to make some magic just out of the stuff that's already been said. So back to what we're doing, documenting the evolution, what's been happening with Jack. What I've been seeking.
Did you say something?
Yeah. He's talking about basically when he played that montage that somebody sent him yesterday of the different stages of Jack. And he's still talking about creating a bigger montage.
Go. I want to. So the Jesus thing, right? Jesus is a leadership. I don't know if Jack hasn't read Nietzsche and his three treatises on morality or something. It would behoove him to look into that and the difference between slave morality and master morality, and how slave morality basically worships weakness and poverty, martyrdom, by condemning strength, and it's a way that weaker people can maintain their narcissistic superiority, even though the world around them does not reflect them being superior.
He will mention Jesus again too.
I just, you know, I can appreciate Christianity and Jesus and all that for like where they belong, but as an example of excellent leadership, it seems like a subversive recommendation. Not that I don't think he's trying to be subversive. I just think it is a subversive archetype to present as a leader or the way to be. It undermines people's ability to have strength, you know?
Can we give feedback? Or are you still gonna? Okay, that answered that.
What's
question.
that?
I see you're gonna play more. That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm watching.
Our friend Cynthia pointed it out. Which Cynthia, bless you, my friend. You have been speaking reason, but please don't place too much pity on me, okay? And that's what Flo and the others were offering you. Just as I assumed you're stronger than most think. Don't underestimate me, nor the value of what this experience is bringing in the future, right? When it all comes together. So, what I've been seeking, honestly, is a chance. And yet the world has been so unwilling to really.
That wasn't a threat. Is that what you all were referring to?
No, he's going to say something a little bit later.
Okay.
But I mean, not geared towards me, just geared towards in general.
Okay.
The world I have experienced in the limited people who've been in my experience, from my perspective, I don't feel like I've been allowed a fair opportunity, right? I mean, I was talking to my mother earlier today about this. According to public record, testimony, right? Testimony of people who allegedly know me and love me. somehow, some way, the public record reflects that I'm a dangerous man, a man to be avoided. That's what many say. That's what I was reading in chat yesterday, is that people want to say that I'm a panel in a stream to be avoided. It's like, whoa, holy shit. More of this? Things are changing, though. I'm so excited for when they do. So, why did I get onto them avoiding? By seeking a chance. I imagine that's what the Creator is doing too. Our God, the Father Jesus spoke of, waiting silently, strongly, patiently, waiting for the world to invite God into their lives. That's what I feel my experience has been. It's what I've learned, what I've realized. And here, we'll bring this into today's thoughts. God, this thought is coming. I see a world in the future, in the very near future, happening very soon, where we unite. The world is united together for the common purpose of love, cooperation, compassion. And it can all start today. It can all start at any time. We all get to start. We all get to end.
We all get to end. Any thoughts, or should I keep going?
I feel like life is fair when the state fair comes in October. Sasquatch.
Touche.
We'll get to do what we want in the middle.
That's right? Still a good
so if you're following along, the inspiration I had today, I'm going to give you the conclusion, and then I'll take you back, and maybe it'll make a little more sense. But for those who might be new to me, I got some radical ideas of peace, and well, I just mentioned it. But I believe a path towards accomplishing this goal of unification could be through the leadership of the world. You know, there's an undeniable structure of the states that exist, and the economic influence is undeniable as well. So let's get those people on board and involved. And here's the thought I had. A few years ago, I set the goal. 2018, I set the goal. I wanted to become a man more like Jesus. Through study, trials, tribulation, a little experimentation with myself, I discovered we are. All of us. We're just like Jesus. Just like him. What? So many ways. It's our conditioning and our lack of will, our lack of trust. The past, the memories of trauma that we choose to keep, that's the stuff that prevents us. And I'm not saying it this way to put blame, but in the end, people are responsible for what people are doing. And what people are doing is a direct result of what people around them allow them to do. I'll bring this into these live streams, and these words are a reminder for me. People will do what people around them allow them to do. In these live streams, there's going to be a lot more order. Okay, simple as that. This nonsense, this bullshit of people coming up on the panel, not even discussing, clear. People are showing clear indication that they're not really paying attention to what I've been saying. Everyone seems to find an excuse of why they disbelieve or why they want to doubt me, and then they want to run around and can try to have others convinced to believe like them, that I'm a man not to be believed. But I allow the truth to reign supreme, and I encourage everyone to allow the truth to reign supreme. I'm going to get to today's inspirations, and then into a lesson, and then maybe the panel from there. But I'm seeing some names. I'd welcome joyfully into the panel with me. But
say that again.
I said, am I breaking up, or is it the?
Oh, I didn't notice any issue.
It's you.
Okay, so, thank you.
I do have one thing to say about that.
Yes, sir.
He has decided that any disagreement with his general premise is an attack, and that's not fair because you should agree with him because he says so, and he is a better leader than you. So you should immediately agree with him because it's not fair if you don't.
True. It's not true.
That's what comes out. That's what comes out a little bit later in the stream.
All right. We'll keep going, and I'll speed it up. You talk slow enough, we can go a little faster.
We have no sound, bud. You never brought it back up.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm bored.
That's the second time today. This is just not my stream for All right.
Damn.
You heard about this guy, Jack Talcott? You got to check out the words he's saying, man. They just ring true, right? And so that's where you guys come in, the viewers. You can be a part of this dream if you want, because ideally the goal is to get these ideas of peace, harmony, equity, righteousness, allowing the truth to reign supreme rather than bankers and authority. The idea is to get these ideas around the world, right? And there's mainstream media opportunities, there's social media opportunities, there's community connections, there's family connections. There's a way to get me these ideas in front of, I don't know, anyone we think can help, anyone who we think might want to help bringing peace to the world. That's who I want to talk to, right? It just seems to make sense. If that's my dream, that's what I want to happen. I want to be a man like Jesus, right? But you turn to me, I'm going to tell you, turn to him. But really, you're turning to you and the Christ that's within you.
That's pretty Luciferian.
It's here and now. It's in the present.
I got a
with
comment
your
real quick.
surrender.
What do you think of the comments in the chat about?
I have
your
not been
altruism?
watching. Which
I
one?
just saw it. Jack Talcott Express. Sorry, Talcott Express. You're all Judas, a bunch of Judas.
I think that it's intentionally antagonistic and more than sincere.
You don't see any realistic aspect of that at all.
Well, I mean, sure, you could say that, but the other side of that is how long should people continue to just absorb bullshit treatment? So I could say he's a Judas.
He should be here, no? Or else we are Judas.
No, that doesn't equate. He didn't wait until we were there on his panel with him. We did wait for him. Didn't we wait for him? Did we? No, I didn't wait for him last night.
Yeah,
I mean, I can see how you could make the connection if you don't take all the circumstances into account. If you do, I don't think that the analogy works.
Is somebody backstage, Flo?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. No.
Judas betrayed a friend that he knew well. One of his most special teacher, Judas betrayed him. I don't know Jack Talcott from Adam's House Cat. I don't know whether he's playing a character or if he's being sincere.
That's exactly how he's going to view this, though.
But I don't care.
That's fine. I mean, but see, and our poll is right. You're a latecomer. I've been through this for 10 months with him, and I'm a relatively newcomer compared to some people. I'm not, and again, this is not. Maybe not again. I don't know. I feel like I told a lot to him last night that's not been said here because I said it last night on somebody else's stream. So probably the audience doesn't know this, but none of this is intended as an attack.
No.
But ultimately his behavior, particularly the way that he handled Cynthia and Paul's dispute on his stream on one of the days I wasn't there. I went back and I watched it.
But look, we're talking to an audience instead of to him.
I know I've talked to him. Yeah. I've talked to him.
Yeah. I just wanted to question that accusation.
Right. And I have no issue. That question didn't inspire not any bit of, I shouldn't do this in me. But anyways, to the audience, I thought that he gaslit the fuck out of Cynthia and affirmed Paul while Paul was attacking Cynthia. This isn't about me disliking Paul. Yes, I dislike Paul. I also told Jack I don't want him to. Somehow it came. I don't remember how it's phrased, but something about hanging out with Paul, and I made it perfectly clear. I don't want him to stop hanging out with Paul, and it certainly would do no good if he just decided that's what I wanted and then stopped hanging out with Paul if he didn't see why. That's not at all the case. The case was that he gaslit Cynthia, who was not doing shit wrong. When I brought that up, he rejected outright. Well, first, what do you want, Lindsay?
I agree with you. What I want is. What do you want?
Go ahead. What do you want?
It seems like if it's not bugging Cynthia, if she's accepted it and she's out of it, she said, I'm no longer dealing with it. It doesn't pertain to me.
I don't think he's seen that part yet, Lindsay. Flo hasn't seen that part yet.
No.
Okay.
And this is a public situation. Jack has perpetuated the publicity of it.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
Jack
I
is
just
welcome
haven't
to
heard
click the
Cynthia
link.
say that she had a problem with it anymore.
It's I don't care if she does. Her issue, I
Okay.
know that she's fine with it. I have an issue with him being like that. It's not because I think Cynthia doesn't know what's going on or couldn't handle it.
I
It's
got
because
you.
he was publicly being a piece of fucking shit.
But it shows again later on
Okay.
what you're talking about.
What does this video?
Yeah.
There's more
Of
coming.
your worries and your hate and your discontent and your pain and your suffering, when you release those things, there it is. There's the spirit of comfort left behind for us all to receive, to know, to enjoy. So here's where I want to place on now the teacher's hat. Okay, and we'll get into the topic of the video. The basics of simplicity. Golly geez, man. Hey, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop the link, and if he wants to join, this is for the Machine Lies. Okay, I wonder if can I do that just for?
Is it further? Do I need to find it or?
For you?
I didn't time.
You know what? Praise God. Whoever, we'll see what happens. But the ideas of this were built with some of the things I've heard said from our brother, the Machine Lies, regarding technique and skill. And I figured with him here, he could help me clean up my language and make sure I'm accurate. The basics of simplicity. What a coach does. What a coach does, an athlete does, and a master does, or an artist, right? A coach in athletics teaches the fundamentals, teaches the basics, right? And through an athlete or an artist, what do? They take those basics, those fundamentals of the game or the craft, and they enhance those. They build those basics so within them that the basics of what they become, it's them, the athlete, the artist.
Welcome, Jack. As you can see, we're watching you. I didn't see this earlier. But to be honest, so far I have not seen anything that's I have much of an issue with.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming there's a point, and I don't remember where it was. It comes up a little bit. I go back to yesterday briefly, and I assume what the objection from today is that I described yesterday as enabling.
Enabling what?
Each of you, there was enabling each other. Enabling each other's confusion, and it was an unconscious effort, but there was nothing malicious either. So there was nothing wrong done. But today, each day is different. And so I'm assuming that my offenses from today, besides how I interacted with Chuck, which it's hilarious if you guys haven't seen how often Chuck likes to bring back the topic to talking about Jack and the problems with Jack. So if you guys haven't seen that pattern yet, keep paying. Just start watching.
I have not. I have not seen Chuck. I've seen you be the aggressor towards Chuck a lot of times. But like I said before, I had the same opinion about you and Nubs. And in hindsight, I think I was wrong about Nubs. I don't think I'm wrong about Chuck, but I learned my lesson about sort of calling you on that shit. So I just let it be, and you guys can have your own thing.
That's one of the things I do appreciate.
But I mean, since you did bring it up, from what I've seen, it's in Chuck's corner. But I'll just leave it alone at that.
I know you are included in the group that I said hasn't given me a chance, but that's okay. Time will reveal the truth. And it doesn't matter if you give me a chance or not. Others will. So say a chance for me to be a man to learn from instead of criticize.
That's what I want from you, is that you do be that man, and you weren't being that man. And you're making this into a whole macro thing. I had a specific issue that I brought up, and you refuse to acknowledge it. You just dance around to other things and try to make yourself into a martyr.
I heard you mention gaslighting, the claim that I was gaslighting, and I don't understand that claim. I'm happy to let's bring that out. if you want.
Sure. Yes, that was my initial complaint. Anyways, let me find the video from that day, and we'll go through it, or at least some of it, because it's just, was it 3 days ago?
Dude, time is just.
And contrary to what people think, it's not about winning or losing.
I'm glad you actually realized that we came to you not to attack you, even if that's the way that you felt.
I understand that. And I could have responded differently, but I didn't. So that's why we're here.
It's worth point. I appreciate you like coming here now. You seem in good faith.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. You know what? Like Slow-Mo said, the divine is here. The divine is with us all, man. That was the question that was asked. Okay, I didn't mean to overlook this. Why does God allow child abuse? I don't want the neighbors to think poorly of defending the devil. Lived right now and in the past. There's so many examples for us to learn from, in good ways and bad. And we have the
those little snippets,
and then we could be like, oh well,
themselves.
Make what?
The way when you were clipping through and it was just catching bits of Jack's talking, like nothing, no kind of planned association or anything. It was just random tidbits of words that he said during this. It sounds really interesting.
I must be this thing, and then start to be that thing, the reflection of that thing. And
the patterns in my life, there's a lot of anger, and do you genuinely remember gathered here, especially? I think we are the.
Do I genuinely remember?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I do. But you did last night. Last night you denied it, and I didn't have it pulled up last night. And so do you remember it? And do you not think that you were gaslighting Cynthia and acting like she was attacking Paul when she was clearly not on the attack? She was not on the attack. It's not subjective or nothing.
Right. Okay.
That's why I'm pulling it up, because it's going to be misconstrued. Like I'm making this up, or like I just don't like Paul. And so,
okay. Hey, you know what? Without seeing it, let me assume that what you're saying is right. What if I did? I mistook what was going on.
Because this is gonna be dismissed as me just not liking Paul. So I'd rather just play some of it.
Often our teachers, because they come in wired and ready for something we're not.
I'm not saying by you, Jackie, either.
A lifetime of wisdom and throws them in retime.
Whoever people in
to that list.
I know.
What? We can hear you, Cynthia. Do you? No, we can hear you.
Oh, I'm talking to the chat. They're upset because I timed out.
I'm like hearing you counting.
Speaking up for what the chat was saying, Cynthia, please. And I'm sure I'd probably get a text or a call from Snafu soon, whining and complaining about that. Please realize there are repercussions, okay? And maybe you don't.
A little slow.
If they're going to sit down there and insult me, I'm not going to allow it. If they're going to sit down there and insult you, why are you always over here calling my name?
And pointing out your failings, being chatting on the phone.
Right on that.
I see the future where we do a better job. And parents, anyone who is a parent, especially you got those kids with you,
count that again.
Learn from them. Humble yourself to what they are bringing. The reflection that they're showing you, that's you.
3.
Yeah. Yeah, they're literally little light bearers. You know, you learn so much from kids.
And snaps to that list. What?
We can hear you, Cynthia. Do you? No, we can hear you.
Oh, they're upset because I timed out.
I'm like hearing you counting and stuff, and I'm like, I wonder if she knows.
Yeah, no, she's too busy. She's too busy causing chaos and controversy and chatting on the phone with other people, not paying attention to what Jack's saying and what we're speaking about.
Oh my God,
it's kind of disappointing. You can do better, right? You could do better.
She was talking to me.
Yeah, you could do better.
She was.
I want to believe you could do better.
Paul, it's kind of sad how pathetic you are.
I'm just trying to bring Jack's attention to the 10 people down there who said, why is Cynthia fighting us, yelling at us, banning us?
Why is she on panel ignoring the conversation to cause chaos and controversy and chat and giggle like a little girl?
Oh, you are really jealous of me.
Actually,
there's nothing to be jealous of, sweetie.
Why are you always over here calling my name?
And pointing out your failings. I'm pointing out your mischief and failures, like the Tao says. Let the wise man chase you, show you where you have fallen, where you may have to fall.
Look at you.
Your mischief is your undoing, Cynthia Queen. Queen, you could do better.
Paul, please, out of respect, because in this case, Paul, thank you for speaking up for what the chat was saying. Cynthia, please. And I'm going to hear, I'm sure I probably get a text or a call from Snafu soon, whining and complaining about that. Please realize there are repercussions, okay? And maybe you don't.
Babies. If they're going to sit down there and insult me, I'm not going to allow it. If they're going to sit down there and insult you, I'm not going to allow it. Because it throws the vibe off of here.
Yes.
And if they don't know how to come here and not be insulting, then they
can you just practice some self-control?
Can you please allow me
can you practice some detachment and self?
I haven't even spoke.
I know. Please, sorry for the interruption. Please. Cynthia, I agree. When people are in the chat, and especially if they're being rude to you, I've seen how rude people are. So I don't fault you in the slightest. Okay, I don't. I'm not saying you've done anything wrong whatsoever, because we haven't talked. We haven't talked about it. Okay, it's all happening now.
This has been the same pattern for a while, Jack. Let's just be clear about it. And Jack, there's a bit of a double standard because
inappropriate. Sorry to speak over
Jack, let's call it as it is. She's down there using the shield of the wrench to not be timed out while she's insulting other people. And then when they bite back, we can't choose who we're going to talk over and not talk over. If we're going to have a standard, let's keep the same standard. Let's not have double, triple standards here in all ways, please. I was speaking. She doesn't like the truth. She doesn't like being called out. A lot of folks over here don't do well with account.
Once again.
If you're talking, Flo, you're muted. But
I mean, you get the gist, right?
Well, so far, okay, but so far, I don't see you. The claim was I'm gaslighting.
Well, okay, we can keep watching. We can keep watching. You get there,
but here, hold on. So far, I actually have been trying to moderate pretty reasonably. The first mistake I saw is that I allowed Paul and Cynthia to bicker longer than I should have. I should have thrown them both to the back when they were both in.
Who started being hostile?
Well, people in the chat started being hostile, and then Cynthia, not understanding, I assume, not understanding what the feedback I'd been getting regarding the mods, was doing what she was doing, and so then the chat complained.
So your request of Cynthia would be that she should let the people in the chat insult her.
Is that what you think I said?
Even
though my words you listened to, we all just listened to, my words.
What was your request then?
Oh my God!
It was to stop timing people out, was it not?
Holy shit!
Was it?
Hey, you just want to be right. Be right.
I'm asking you. You tell me what's right. What were you requesting of Cynthia? You know what? We'll just keep playing it.
Accountability.
Okay, let's take a breath. We're all growing together. We do trigger each other sometimes.
Right. Okay? We got to do breath work sometimes, man.
We need breath work here. Cynthia, stop eating. You're going to breathe for a little bit.
We can all be
rude to, Paul. Can you please point out the comment or the person I was being rude to?
Well, yeah, me. I don't even need to know who you did it to anyone else, because you did it to me as soon as I came in here. Who are you kidding?
Paul, please. Here, Cynthia, you know what? Obviously.
Nice try. You almost got yourself out of that with a lie.
No, come on.
Keep lying. Maybe you'll be able to really perfect it.
There are many people revealing kind of ugliness of their character.
She revealed that months ago. No one apparently saw it.
Hey, we're all growing. You know what? Let's come back to the present.
You know what I'm going to do, Jack? Let me do something uncharacteristic of myself. I'm going to go ahead and praise Angeline. You know why? Because she continues to stay the course. She continues to focus on seemingly, I don't know her behind the scenes, but being a loving, caring person, speaking her truth. And she lets me do my gorilla act and talk my shit and pretend to be messy Hal. You know, boys will be boys. And she just continues to do what she does and doesn't get involved seemingly in any of the drama or the nonsense. So I'm going to go ahead and praise her, since I'm always like being critical of other people acting out.
That's good, man. That's a great progression.
And I've been an asshole, right, when it comes to her and Jesse and others. So, I mean, again, either she's being disingenuous or she's showing strength in that sense, just not being reactive. Maybe it comes naturally to her.
She's a strong lady. That's what I've seen in Angeline. So I think that's a strength. I agree. Angeline does a great job of not being involved, not appearances, right?
Well, because we never truly know, right? But over time, the truth always comes out. But I'm saying from what I've seen, there seems to be some consistency there. So even if it is just a practice, right, it's still 1 for 1 because you can fake it till you make it, right? If you practice living a certain way, at a certain point, it just becomes second nature. And part of that practice is not being reactive and not feeding into the supposed negativity or the darkness. We look at it, we understand it, we become better, or we leave it where it's at.
He's manipulating you right now, by the way.
I think he thinks he is. If you think he's
when you kind of grow up around
better
enough
than,
chaos, you learn
go ahead,
to
leave what
choose,
you want. He's trying
where
to.
you want to flow in and where you don't, and just let things be what they are, because you learn in life you can't really control that stuff, but you can choose where you're going to insert yourself and where you're going to look and where you're not, and where you're going to go a different way.
Don't you see
the method? That. It's all a choice at the end of the day.
That was my guess.
Control.
Lindsay, you were about to say something?
I said to Jack, can't you see what manipulation tactic he's taking?
Yes.
And you somewhat fall into it.
You just claimed that I'm being manipulated. I see manipulation. Please don't assume.
No, I don't. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. You're aware of it, but you're choosing to let it go. But he thinks that
I have my goals and my reason, but please feel free to criticize everything you see.
No, it was something I noted, and I want to ask, what's going on in your mind? Not as an attack here, okay? A question. What's going on in your mind when he's doing stuff like that? Do you acknowledge it and then just don't care? Or what's going on in your head?
Just like when people are spewing their negative nonsense, I know it's a bunch of nonsense. I listen, I'm paying attention, but I know it's not truthful. It's an act. I've been learning. I've been paying very close attention. Who can I trust? Who is actually authentic about the words they say? I'm not stupid. I assure you of that. But what you guys don't consider is my perspective and my situation, my goals.
You haven't explained them at all. You're just saying there are some, and we need to just trust you that you're not acting for the reason we think that you're acting. You have reasons, and they're the right ones. But
I was asking about awareness too, not stupidity.
Yeah, and she was just bringing up awareness. I took it further. Let me answer this question. Yeah, when he's not being manipulative. Like, I don't know if you can't discern when somebody's. He's not even pretending to not be manipulative. He's just wearing it.
Well,
I wondered if you saw it. You do.
Here's what
it's in him. I keep saying that it's in him. It's not. It's in him.
Right. And see, what you guys don't understand is it's a pattern of life he has learned to become. He's
good.
The truth
so
is
nobody's
true.
Responsible for anything.
The truth is true regardless of the source and regardless of the tone. When the truth is revealed, it's true. That young man actually speaks a lot of truth.
He does.
So,
but I've got a question, really, intellectually. This is not making sense, and I want to interrupt, but this is the last time that I will do it if you would allow me.
You know what, Lindsay?
Okay, never mind.
No, please don't take this. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, and please don't take this the wrong way either.
Let's just stop right there, because this is coming an insult. This is going to become an insult after you say the word "but." I'm trying to get you somewhere to realize something, but you're not wanting to engage in that. So I'm going to stop.
Lindsay,
out of respect, I'm
offering you. You interrupted me, expecting the worst. You interrupted me to present and project your insecurities. No, I'm inviting you, and that's what I mean. At this moment, I am filled with peace. And if you're genuine, which I feel that you are.
Yeah. I wanted to notice if you notice the duplicity in what you're saying. That's all. And I have to interrupt you sometimes to ask you that, or I'm going to forget. Yes, that is selfish. So I'll stop.
No, please. The duplicity part of it. Duplicitous. By what? Okay, assuming I am duplicitous, what do you believe my intention is for? Or do you believe I have multiple intentions? Or what?
Then I would
what
have
do you
to
mean?
talk about it to you and delineate it and make it clear, and you don't want to hear it. So I'm offering you the chance not to hear it or to hear what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about doesn't necessarily have to be true. Like you said, it can be my issue in the way I see things. Are you interested in seeing the way I see this particular situation? Or would you rather I just kind of take the fifth on it?
She stated an observation, and you invited her to speculate and accuse you of something. We're just gonna move on.
Your energy, yo. Control your energy.
It takes the darkness sometimes. And I've heard enough of Angeline's stories. To know she came from some dark places. She saw some darkness. And that's the light we're seeing today, man. That is her strength that God has graced her with. And yeah, I thank you, Angeline, for shining the light of who you are the way that you do. You really are inspiring. And Cynthia is too, and Paul is too.
Thank you, Jack.
Well, don't ruin the sentiment by bringing the Gorgon creature into the statement. I mean, that's just disingenuous.
Fake Paul account, you're blocked.
It's not an inspiring person. She's repulsive.
In her way,
you can think that, but you don't know how to sit up here and be quiet.
She's a repulsive creature. Look at her right now. I could say anything about Angeline. She's never going to respond like that because she's a woman. You're a repulsive, obnoxious, masculine creature, and you have no divine femininity and grace within you. And you have no mercy. I've seen you attack dozens of people and then ban them when they bite back. You're a cretin.
I don't value you, and I don't value your opinion.
Well, you did value me until I didn't love you. Until I didn't love you the way that you needed to be loved.
What if she's reflecting you?
It doesn't work that way. The whole point of divine femininity is yielding to the moment and the truth and going above and beyond the worldly nonsense. So she doesn't have to reflect and mirror what all the other broken boys are doing on here. When she does that, she reveals her position and status.
I don't care what you think about me.
You do.
That's kind of like your opinion, man.
Well, it's kind of like the facts. That's why she doesn't have a partner and isn't going to have a partner because no man is going to want to
have
figure
a
that.
partner. Don't have a partner. You don't know.
You know, we're all of it, and we have to accept that. Every horrible thing, every wonderful thing, we're all of it, and we just choose what we're gonna like put out there or not put out there. But it doesn't matter. It's in this world we've got infinite choices, and we can be whoever we want, and you can judge whatever you want in those choices. But it doesn't really matter.
That
you can either choose to accept what people, how they judge you and what they say about you, or you just let it roll off your back because you understand that it comes from something that's not important to you and it's coming from a malice place.
Where it comes from doesn't have to be important. The truth within is what's important.
From a malice place. You can never.
It doesn't matter what the intention is. The truth can still be within the malintent.
You don't know my truth.
Please.
1 second. Pero, you're a dumbass. Here, I'm gonna. That was the beginning of this stream, and that'll be the end of the stream. We're gonna come full circle on how you're stupid as shit. Here. This is the fake Paul account that I timed out, or that I blocked permanently. It is a fake Paul account. I did not say it was Paul. What I said is you're retarded, and the fake Paul account is getting blocked. Now back to our regular scheduled programming.
Of course, for that to happen, you would have to put it on screen and, play it.
I know, but I only have one monitor.
I'm just messing with you, dude. I've been out of circulation.
This kind of comes back to the earlier message I was offering. When we judge the messenger, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got to just humble ourselves to the truth. And what Angeline said, everything can be true about us. And so if we just listen and just stay trusting in the moment, trusting in now, and you're right, if it's words we choose don't apply, they don't apply, but don't judge the messenger. That's what I'm suggesting, please. Okay.
But we can certainly have
Not my
boundaries and love
gaslighting.
ourselves and choose what we
Been
want to
involved there.
allow in to our world and what we don't, and what parts we want to feed.
I was distracted by the chat, but I didn't hear exactly what was just said, but you're about to twist her words around and use them to gaslight.
Feed in ourselves and not.
Correct.
And part
I
of
totally
that is
agree
learning
with
to
that.
stand up to ourselves.
I totally agree with that, but I don't think that we should try to censor or stave off the persecutors and the prosecutors. They may be some of our greatest teachers and testers.
Yes, but we got to be careful we don't become the prosecutors and the perpetrators, because it's really easy to become the things we hate. Real easy. Different reflections of different.
Right, but why are we hating?
That's the key. Because we're afraid, and we shouldn't be afraid. We should be
And
grateful.
that's my point. I don't hate prosecutors and persecutors. I understand that they have a goal and an intention, and within that is something for me to learn from.
So the persecutors and prosecutors should not be feared because they can be good teachers. I mean, you understand how this is bad advice, right? Right? If somebody's attacking you,
we understand how that is horrible advice.
yeah, if somebody's attacking you, which is Paul and Paul's people, right? They're on the attack, and he's saying, well, don't hate the attackers because you can learn a lot by being attacked. And you're going, that's right, you shouldn't be scared.
Is that what I said?
Yes.
Where? Please rewind.
I'm not rewinding it. You heard it. We all heard it. You're just
no. See, this is it. You're imagining scenarios, assuming that I'm gonna accept this gaslighting. And you're right. If it's words we choose don't apply, they don't get better than this messenger. That's what I'm suggesting. Please, okay?
But we can certainly have boundaries and love ourselves and choose what we want to allow in to our world and what we don't, and what parts we want to feed in ourselves and not.
Correct.
And part
I
of
totally
that is
agree
learning
with
to
that.
stand up to ourselves.
I totally agree with that, but I don't think that we should try to censor or stave off the persecutors and the prosecutors. They may be some of our greatest teachers and testers.
Yes, but we got to be careful we don't become the prosecutors and the perpetrators, because it's really easy to become the things we hate. Real easy. Different reflections of different.
Right, but why are we hating?
That's the key. Because we're afraid, and we shouldn't be afraid. We should be
And
grateful.
that's my point. I don't hate prosecutors and persecutors. I understand that they have a goal and an intention, and within that is something for me to learn from.
I don't hate those types of people either, but I also choose my timeline and participation.
There you go.
Right, it's this and that. The point is we don't go into ignorance. We just either accept the truth within what we don't like, or we say that's not true and we leave it there. There's no space for reactivity.
Well,
Yeah, we do choose our participation.
Yes.
Jack, going back
Right, and Cynthia's living her truth. Yo, Cynthia's living her truth.
Again, there is no such thing as your and my and his and her truth. There's our perspectives, and then there's the truth. We're working on a journey in our perspective to meet the truth together, apparently. What else are we doing here?
Jack, going back to what you were saying about when people have to tell you stuff, like I definitely agree with that, but I also look at the source and I look at, are they coming from a malice place? And I can speak on behalf of this guy. He's got nothing but malice towards me. It resonates in him, and I'm okay with that. And
If you decide that, then that'll always be true for you. If you decide that, that'll always be true.
Did I not go back far enough? Or did I go back too far? Or did we cover? I was typing in the back chat. Somebody came up with their cam off, and I was typing at them.
I don't even know what we're looking for.
The part where the bad advice part, the part where he just said.
Well, the claim I'm remembering is the gaslighting part.
What we don't like.
I spoke up for Paul once or twice regarding what he had said.
And within that is something for me to learn from.
I don't hate those types of people.
Hey, Cynthia, this kind of comes back to the earlier message I was offering. When we judge the messenger, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got to just humble ourselves to the truth. And what Angeline said, this part, everything can be true about us. And so,
do you think that Angela was trying to convey that Cynthia needs to not do what she's doing?
I'm not going to speak or assume her intention.
You did just now. You literally on screen just said, just like Cynthia said, or just like Angeline said.
Yes,
So you're comfortable doing it there, but not now.
Well, let's look at the bigger picture because
my complaint is specific, and you keep trying to zoom out onto Jack's like other shit.
Well, hold on.
What's the big picture?
Look, yes, thank you. Before you deny, right, ignorance before investigation, you want to condemn me and
see ya.
This.
I've investigated, motherfucker. I've known you for 10 months. I've watched this. I've reviewed it. You keep deflecting off of it and saying, I just don't know things.
Bro,
I know things.
Let's come back to here and now. Okay?
We'll go wherever the fuck I want.
You're right. And that's exactly what's been happening. So what I want is resolve. I would like some resolution, and I'm here in good faith. Because I
refuse responsibility and continue to act like something didn't happen that I just watched happen.
Well, Flo, so let's get back to what just happened, okay? What I was trying to bring in with the bigger picture was prior conversations that Cynthia and I had on that topic.
Okay, then be specific and concise with what they were.
Specifically about how our judgment of a person can prevent us from receiving the truth that they offer. Is
he offering truth? Is his intent to offer truth to Cynthia, or is it to attack her?
Okay. In the moment of that, those words that we just reviewed, let's keep in mind, I'm also speaking to the audience. Okay.
That's fine. I don't give a fuck. Answer the question.
So
was he being helpful or hurtful?
He was actually speaking the truth, that there is truth in hurtful words and that we should not just dismiss. I wasn't supporting what he has been saying about Cynthia. I was supporting what he was speaking about, how the truth works.
If somebody runs around and has their friends running around calling me a fat pig and all sorts of shit from the chat, and then I insult her again and shut her up in a way that happens to be an abuse of truth, and it's obviously that, and you defend it like you're doing now, are you explaining anything? Are you serving the truth, or are you prioritizing the messenger over the reality of the message?
This is your scenario. I don't even understand what you expect me to answer to be honest.
Cynthia was clearly being attacked on your channel this day.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. You then refused to allow her to defend herself, even though she continued to be attacked by Paul on your stage. Do you agree?
No.
You weren't acting like she was the one causing the problems?
I don't accept that as an accurate reflection. No, I do not, because I witnessed multiple occasions standing up for Cynthia, interrupting, telling Paul, no. So
right, yes, you did. You acted like they were equally at fault. She was not ever on the offensive.
Okay. Well,
so that in and of itself is a gaslight.
Whoa. If you there, I heard her with her insults exchanging, whether it's
Jack. We're going to continue to watch. We're going to continue to watch this. You can pipe the fuck down.
Tell you what. How about you finish watching it? I'm going to go continue the evening. If you want me back, I can return later. Otherwise,
you come back if you want. But you don't just keep interrupting and just what?
Okay.
You can stay if you want. Just be quiet and let us continue it.
Fair enough. If we just listen and just stay trusting in the moment, trusting in now. And you're right. If it's words we choose don't apply, they don't apply, but don't judge the messenger. That's what I'm suggesting. Please, okay?
But we can certainly.
That is bad advice, by the way. To act like somebody who's trying to hurt you is not trying to hurt you, to deny that reality and just continue to let them attack.
I didn't say to do that.
You did. And just because you didn't explicitly state those words doesn't mean that was not the content of your message.
Hey, sure. If you want to twist my words into that, may I ask you at least speed it up? I'm horrible. I can't even tolerate myself at normal speed, but whatever is better.
Ourselves and choose what we want to allow into our world and what we don't, and what parts we want to feed in ourselves and not.
Correct.
And
I totally agree with that.
Stand up to ourselves.
I totally agree with that, but I don't think that we should try to censor or stave off the persecutors and the prosecutors. They may be some of our greatest teachers and testers.
Do you agree with that statement that we should not try to stave off persecutors?
Completely push them out. Everything is case by case, not necessarily. Sometimes yes, other times no. Sometimes people appear to be out to harm us, and they're actually not. I've experienced that myself. Yes, but we got to be careful we don't become the prosecutors and the perpetrators, because it's really easy to become the things we hate. Really.
You obviously recognize that that's what Paul's being here.
Yes.
That's why you said it.
That is why reflections of different.
Right, but why are we hating?
That's the key. Because we're afraid, and we shouldn't be afraid. We should be.
That's my point. I don't hate prosecutors and persecutors. I understand that they have a goal and an intention, and within that is something for me to learn from.
I don't hate those types of people either, but I also choose my timeline and participation.
There you go.
Right, it's this and that. The point is we don't go into ignorance. We just either accept the truth within what we don't like, or we say that's not true and we leave it there. There's no space for reactivity.
Well,
yeah, we do choose our participation.
Yes.
Jack, going right, and Cynthia's living her truth. Cynthia's living her truth.
Again, there is no such thing as your and my and his and her truth. There's our perspectives, and then there's the truth. We're working on a journey in our perspective to meet the truth together, apparently. What else are we doing here?
Jack, going back to what you were saying about when people have to tell you stuff, like I definitely agree with that, but I also look at the source and I look at, are they coming from a malice place? And I can speak on behalf of this guy. He's got nothing but malice towards me. It resonates in him, and I'm okay with that. And
if you decide that, then that'll always be true for you. If you decide that, that'll always be true for you and I.
I have no problem with him hating me.
You're presuming I hate you. You're creating it. You're in your imagination, and you're creating a whole bunch of narratives so you can feel justified in your position. I've never said I hated you.
Allow me to finish speaking.
Please let her finish, and then we'll do the same.
And I have no problem with anybody on this metaverse having an issue with me and not liking me. That's fine. You are entitled to that. But understand this: I will never take anything that they say an opinion, and I will never hold value to it because you are valueless to me.
You just confirmed your foolishness and ego.
That's true, Cynthia.
How did I confirm my foolishness?
Like your conclusion that he is without value.
He is to me, and I'm sorry.
Right, because you've chosen to see that way, right? You can choose infinite possibilities from what is presented. And I can see the good and bad in you. I can see the good and bad in Paul, in me. I can see the good and bad in all of us, and I know you can as well.
Absolutely, but I can't see good in him, and I'm not going to apologize for that. And I'm not saying that to be hateful or malice. I'm saying that as in that's my honest opinion.
Well,
and I can't sit up here and lie
and
act like I do like him when I don't.
Cynthia,
but instead of always insulting him, I sit here and be quiet when he speaks.
Right, I've seen that. But here's something I want you to consider, okay? As a friend, I do consider you a friend regarding the.
Do you recognize that was gaslighting, and now you're about to start love bombing? Welcome, extremely good. Who is that? Anybody know that guy?
No, where did they go?
I just took him back off stage because I don't know who it is. They don't have a verified account, and all he did was flip me off. So
no. All right. Well, see you later,
I don't know who it is.
I still stand by that. If I don't see value in somebody, like I'm not valuing their message, their opinion of me, nothing of me. I'm not saying that this person is a valueless man, but to me, he holds no value. We don't live the same life. We don't have the same ideologies. Our walks aren't the same. Our talks aren't the same. Our goals aren't the same. So we have no common denominator amongst us. He can gaslight and say, but we're living, we're God's children. No. And I'm entitled to feel that way. And I made it perfectly clear. And that is my choice to feel that way.
Jack, thoughts?
It is your
I'm kind of low-key tired, Salty Siren, but I'm rolling through this.
You didn't agree earlier.
Who?
You didn't. In the video.
I said it's certainly her choice to make. You get to make any choice you want. However, I see a mistake. It's your choice to make your mistakes.
Do you agree with the statement, independent of specifics, that if somebody is hostile towards you and treats you like an enemy and attempts to harm you consistently, that you should not treat them as if they are not malicious, that you should not give them the same benefit of the doubt?
Well, it depends on the definition of hostile and harm, wouldn't it?
Do you disagree that Paul has been nothing but... Do you think Paul has been hostile to her?
I think he has been consistently rude to everybody. That could easily be taken as hostile. He's aggressive.
It's not hostile. Rudeness isn't hostile?
It's aggressive. It's not
What
really.
Do you think hostile is?
Hostile is it's conflict, it's aggression, it's an act of towards harm.
And so, what do you think that he was doing, has been doing?
What I see is a very confused man who doesn't know how to show he cares.
And what I saw is that you preferred to let him abuse Cynthia or be abusive towards her than to... And you even participated in it as the passive sort of enabler.
Oh, so now I participated in the hostility against Cynthia with Paul as a passive aggressor. That's the narrative that you want to share.
Oh, shit.
For me.
What, was that just you?
Yeah, that was me, bro.
That was you.
I don't know what was happening. I was trying to enter.
You were on an unauthenticated account.
I don't know why it was doing that, dude. I don't know why.
All right, yeah. Hadn't seen you in a minute. What's up, man?
No, I'm just chilling, bro. I just wanted to say what's up to you guys. That's all.
Right on. Well, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you came back with an authenticated account.
I don't know what happened. I tried to come in. I don't know what was going on. I just wanted to say what's up to you and Jack, and that's all.
10-4. Well, we're resolving, or well, we're addressing drama, I suppose. I don't know if we're resolving it. It's yet to be seen if Jack has basically any anchor point for his own ethical behavior, or if he just sort of whimsically go wherever Paul pushes him.
Well, first of all, it's been a while, so it's good to see you, Jack.
Is that Austin?
Yeah, it's Austin.
Oh, how you doing, Austin? Hey, howdy.
Good to see you, man.
Hey, good to see you, man. Good to see all of you. Good to see all you guys. Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out for a minute.
10-4.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're gonna carry on.
All right, go ahead.
Let's see, where'd that thing go?
Yeah, on the other hand,
and support.
Say that again, Hank.
Yeah, I on the other hand go where I want, and Paul respects my gangster.
He complains about it, but
did he tell you he respects it, or did you assume he respects it?
I figured out that he respects it.
And what caused you to draw this conclusion?
Well, I keep doing what I want instead of what he tells me, and he says he just lets me back on. So he respects it.
Okay, good for you.
Hey Bex, you can't even fight your own battles. Why are you fighting Paul's?
Oh Lord.
And out of all of those people, we do know who plays the best game. Shout out Flo. Right?
Shout out Flo.
Shout out to you, Flo.
Shout out to Bex.
Experience.
Ditto.
Paul has his role, and Paul will learn his way as well, but part of his role is to help confront egos. And what you're doing with you're presenting your ego in your judgment. This is I think my role is to be an outside observer of things.
That's a straight up gaslight. That's a gaslight and an enablement. It's not anybody's job to confront somebody else's ego by being a douche.
Hold on. Okay. So that is that the conviction. There's no other answer.
No, there's no other answer. I would love to hear you try to explain one, but there is not another answer. But go ahead. I'd love to hear you try.
Well, see, this is the second time you presented a false narrative that.
Correct it then. Be specific.
Well,
Tell me why I'm wrong. Besides, I just don't understand things.
I know. Well, actually, I'm trying to remember what you said.
I said that there is never it's not anybody's role to confront somebody else's ego.
Yes,
you can use that line of reasoning to justify anything.
That's right. You took my explanation of ego and twist that into gaslighting. When what I said is very true. What I said is you are showing your ego with your judgment. Those were the words I said.
And yeah, that's not showing her ego. She's defending herself from being attacked.
That is what you say, and that is what
you say.
Tell you what.
You just don't understand everything, Jack. Jack, you're just in your ego. You don't know the whole picture.
Why are you?
Why don't you, Jack? You don't understand things. You can't have a proper opinion on this because you don't understand the big picture of what I'm doing, what you're doing, what Cynthia's doing. You just don't understand, Jack.
Hey, that sounds like Paul, and you are gaslighting. You're doing a good example.
That's how you define it, okay? Hello? You don't know me. You don't know my life. Said every slut ever.
Hello?
What?
I'm happy to explain my words.
No, go ahead then.
Your ego is showing, okay?
Do it.
When we get into arguments, human beings, we start over and over arguing over words, and then we start puffing our chests out, pulling our cocks out.
Is this part of your explanation, or is this a critique of what I'm doing now?
Let him go for it.
It's kind of like what happened earlier on the show.
Thank you for that interruption, Chuck.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
So, though the examples I was giving, yes, it's both. It's what the ego does. That is the simple, obvious sign of the egoic conditioning. It places a superiority or an inferiority on between us, and it's not healthy. It's what I've studied. It's what I know.
Hold on.
And should anyone want to understand, I'm available.
You just said the ego places false superiority and inferiority between us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you didn't address, though, who's actually attacking and who's defending. You changed it to value judgment of the individuals, not of the behaviors. I'm talking about the behavior. You ignored the behavior.
You're not going to like the answer I give, but the answer is both attack and defense are signs of the ego. Okay? So the ego, it acts in both ways, as the oppressor and as the victim.
And one of those is a proper use of ego, because ego is not a bad thing inherently. It's necessary for all of us to individuate.
The ego is a beautiful thing. It's so fucking amazing and special and unique, but it must never be the master. The ego must serve the truth. If it doesn't serve the truth, it runs around arguing with other people and wanting to prove it's better than others, and it's nonsense.
That's what you're doing here. That's why you're up here, Jack. Stop defending yourself and let me talk shit about you, Jack.
That's an option. Feel free to continue, or I can leave. Whatever you want.
Why are you getting pouty? Stop defending yourself. That's your ego.
I am here to serve. Would you like me to leave? That's a service. I don't care. Whatever. Sincerely, I'm done fighting.
What we saw earlier in your stream from today and what you're doing now is exactly what you're saying Cynthia shouldn't do. It's a display of her ego.
Actually, my spirit and my heart led me here, not to defend myself, not even to defend the truth, but since I see there are conflicts and disagreements and quite a bit of assumption and lots of talk going on, but not with me. I thought I would provide an opportunity to bring some resolution, make myself available to answer questions.
You're not in the position to provide shit. You're not taking accountability for the. You're not even. Yeah, go ahead, Chuck.
How are you the single arbiter of truth? Is my question.
That would be hubris.
Name one instance where I've made that claim. See, Chuck.
Tonight on your show, you claim that because I don't see your vision, your truth, that you profess, that therefore I'm fighting you. All along, all I've been trying to do is figure out where you're going. But yet, because I don't agree with you, if anybody doesn't agree with you, it's against your truth, therefore we're wrong. And I don't get it. I don't hold the single truth. Hell, I'm open to being wrong. I love being wrong.
Yes, my solution to this issue is simply holding Jack to his own standards.
What is that? I can't see it.
Oh, this is rule from radicals. So pretty much, once Jack says something that's ridiculous, like no secrets, I just hold him to his own standards, and the issue's gone.
Well, Hank, even the Bible says to keep secrets.
Correct.
The Bible speaks of secrets.
Yes.
Paul, come on up. Come on up and display a perfect example of the toxic feminine.
Not lies, but secrets. Not lies, but secret is what I'm talking about.
Well, should we carry on?
Can I get an answer to my question? Because so far it has seemed to be that I'm supposed to sit and listen to the criticisms and complaints, and you don't really, few besides Lindsay, maybe, few have seemed to have any interest in what I've had to say. So,
well, don't worry about it. That's just your ego.
Well, that's I don't deny the truth.
That's not true.
I don't deny the truth, and I'm paying attention to the facts. So I'm asking you for guidance. Now, if you don't want to give me guidance on what your desire for me is, I'll make my own choice and I'll accept my consequences regardless of what anyone else wants. But I'm offering.
Are you talking to me or Chuck?
This is your place, Flo, but I am really fed up with Chuck.
I can see that. You did nothing new. Chuck, did you get your question answered? I was distracted for a second.
I don't know. That's all right.
What made him the arbiter of truth? Yeah.
No answer.
You didn't want, and you ask a question and you answer it. You don't care.
What's the answer?
This is what my fucking point is. What question may I answer? Is there anything I can offer to resolve any of the disgusting opinions about me?
I could say the same about you having disgusting opinions about me. You go as low to start calling me names and everything else, like Eeyore and fucknut and other things. I have yet to call you a name. So therefore,
the Antichrist and confused and deceived.
That is not name calling. That is not. That is not.
See you later, bud. Chuck, you can kiss my ass. I am so.
That's your ego, Jack. Stop defending yourself.
Hey, you're right.
Feel that ego, Jack.
My spirit. I give a shit about me. You may not give a shit.
That's what you were saying. You shouldn't. That's your ego. Chuck's job is to just attack people. It's to attack people's ego. Your ego is not accepting the lessons that he's giving you.
What lessons should I be receiving from him? Let's not gaslight, Flo.
Well, you shouldn't have any. You shouldn't have any opinion about what's said about you, or else that's your ego.
Flo, you know what?
Chicken butt.
Here's something I've been learning. The key to a happy life is to feel good about what you do. I came here in good faith with the hope and efforts of trying to find peace and bring peace and resolution. But
peace for you entails not acknowledging what you did.
I look forward.
Go ahead.
I look forward to when acknowledgement is made on your behalf. Have a beautiful night,
what does that
brothers
mean?
and sisters. Well, look at yourself.
That means bow down and kiss his ass, Flo.
Look at yourself and figure it out. God bless you
This
all.
is why you and Paul are so obsessed with each other. You're both trying to subvert the other one, both in narcissistic loop.
I'm sorry.
Hi, Dr.
Flo.
Ake.
I didn't mean to run him off. Sorry,
That's
Flo.
okay. You're fine. We'll keep watching anyways without him. He's welcome to come back up if he decides to. Dr. Ake, you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. You're a little bit choppy.
I've been watching you. What can I do about it?
No, you're better now. Go ahead.
I've been watching you guys on and off for the last few days. You seem to spend all your time squabbling like a mob of school kids. There's fucking important things in this world that need addressing.
Well,
for fuck's sake, what?
Now, I agree, Dr. Ake. I mean, everyone needs to start ad block now.
You're not wrong. I would say that it's kind of hard to take advice from somebody who just did what you did legally. Like there are more important things to do with our time, but there's also more important things to do than send yourself directly to prison voluntarily.
I'm sorry. I have to agree with Dr. Ake.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong in a vacuum. He's not wrong in a vacuum. He's also not he's not in a position to criticize our use of time, though, I would say.
No, it's just I've only you and a couple of other channel people. Whenever I've looked at that in the last few days, you're just going round and round in circles arguing about stuff that's doesn't really matter that much.
True.
What does matter is that we're going to the fucking wall we're letting these bloody parasites rule our lives. I'm looking forward. I'm going to court on the 8th of February. And I mean, I've pleaded guilty to the police, right? Well, I don't agree that it's the word guilty is the right word. I've made a confession that I grew those plants for my own purposes, right? And
didn't you tell them that it was to distribute it to your friends who couldn't afford?
Yes, I told them that also. 2 or 3 friends I've got up until now, and if there was another guy turned up and he couldn't afford to buy the medical marijuana, and if I had some, I'd give it to him.
You understand that what you did was not helpful, though. You're like, I don't know. I tried to talk to you, man. I tried to talk you out of it.
No, they have 2 eyewitnesses that have dobbed me in.
They still have to prove the case. They don't have to prove the case now. Not only do they not have to prove it was the case that it was yours, they don't have to prove an even stronger charge, distribution.
I've already got all the papers here in front of me about bloody 20 pages.
I'm not trying to rub your nose in it. I mean, I wish that you had not done that. But or at least man, you didn't even look at the law first. You didn't even know what the law read and what the possible sentences were for it.
I'm really you did right. I want to let this court to see what the result is. If he ends up going to get a long sentence for it, then we know not to do it.
So he's in almost exactly the same situation I was 8 years ago, except it was a different plant and there's a different substance in a different continent. But he's 75, I think, and he's been accused of production, basically, of marijuana, and he went and confessed, which is just the wrong thing to do. Now, the amount of plants that he says he had, He's got no priors, so that'll work in his favor. And if he had 5 or fewer plants, he would be a shoe-in for diversion. But
he's 75 years old. That's going to come into play.
Yeah. And I don't know if this has a jury trial aspect, but if it does, the jury could just let him go.
Well, so he's that right. So he basically he forfeited any legal defense he could have, increased the charges against him, and is now hoping that the judge has sympathy. He was originally hoping that the cops would have sympathy, and that didn't work out.
Yeah, well, if he can go for a jury trial, the jury just let him go. It doesn't really.
He's got what?
A clean conscience.
Why?
In his mind.
But he should not. He should have because he didn't actually violate a moral. He didn't make a moral violation. He made a technical rule violation. The moral violation is them raiding him.
How? How is it a moral violation?
Because I believe in natural law, and by growing pot, you're not doing anything that's outside of your rights. You're allowed to grow pot. You're allowed to smoke pot. You can't force people to smoke pot, and you can't use pot to attack somebody with.
He's speaking about a victimless crime here, an invented crime that harms no one.
Correct.
It harms the drug companies.
I disagree.
You think that it's a harmful crime?
He's restraining drug companies.
Who?
You think that smoking weed is a crime? That if he smokes weed at his house, he's harming somebody. There's a victim
he's
involved.
competing with the drug companies who want the money. So
who's the victim if he smokes pot?
The place that sells antidepressants. He's taking money from them.
I agree with you, Hank, but I want to hear. But Chuck's the one in defense seat now.
No, what he does in his house is his business.
Okay.
It's when you distribute it to others.
Other people who wanted it. These are adults, consenting adults. Where's the victim?
Actually, he hasn't distributed anything yet.
Well, yeah, allegedly.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But we're trying to figure out why Chuck doesn't have morals. He just has laws.
You know what? Because it killed my brother. That's why.
Pot killed your brother?
Yes, it did.
How?
Because he got some laced pot. If he hadn't been smoking weed, he would have never got the laced pot.
If pot wasn't illegal, he wouldn't have been in that situation.
And that wasn't pot.
And it wasn't pot.
Then what do you call it?
I don't know. Poison. He was poisoned.
Yeah.
Yep. That he was.
Yeah. Most people are poisoned through food. You think if we just didn't eat food, you're
peanuts. Yeah, I got you. You got to remember, I'm considerably older than you guys.
I don't care. You still have every capacity to think that I do.
And
you know full well that
society, the morals of people feed into society. Society makes the rules that we must live by.
And so you think that right and wrong is determined by the law?
By society. If society changes their mind, that's fine.
Okay. Do you want me to go through a list of things that were deemed defined by society previously?
I know what they are, Flo. I'm just saying. If they decide to legalize it across the board, I'm fine with that. I'm talking about on a federal level. If they come out with a test to test people that are under the influence, I'm fine with that. You know, I don't agree with if you smell pot in a car, you should be busted. I disagree with that. But if they got a test to prove that you're
where does right and wrong come from?
Society.
So slavery was fine until abolition.
According to society, it was.
I'm not asking society. I'm asking Chuck.
In my mind, slavery was wrong. but I was not alive back then. I don't know what the mindset was back then.
So the Jays should have been rounded up. You don't have an issue with that until now.
The Jays rounded up.
And World War II.
Are
I'm
you
talking about World War II?
II?
I'm talking about the Uyghurs right now in China. I know you're not Chinese, but I'm talking about them. I'm talking about sex change operations for children. These things, since they're not illegal, they're not wrong. I don't know about the sex change laws, but hormone blockers, which is chemical castration medicine, those are definitely given to kids. You're okay with all this stuff?
Me, like Chuck believes in might makes right, but he has the slave mentality to go on to it. So,
total slave mentality, yeah.
Yes. So
I don't even think that he believes himself, really. I think he's just mad at pot because his brother smoked something that wasn't pot.
Could be. I might be biased. I've said that all along.
JG, what do you think?
I also know that a friend of mine, his wife died from smoking pot. It actually ate.
That's not true.
Yes,
that's
bullshit.
Not true.
I've seen the doctor's report. Bullshit.
So you're telling me that this woman smoked enough pot that she overdosed on THC?
No. It ate holes. It ate holes in her brain. I seen the doctor's report.
She must have been a Diet Coke drinker or something, because pot doesn't do that.
Or a smoker. My mom had holes to her brain because she smoked too much nicotine.
Nope. The only thing she smoked was pot. A lot of it.
Lack of oxygen.
But I don't hold that against pot. That was her fault for smoking it in the first place.
Correct. I agree.
Got the wrong stuff.
She did get the wrong stuff. She was probably lying about what she smoked too. Or yeah.
But I'm like I said, I'm probably biased because of what it did to my brother.
You know, Spice has been around for like 50 years.
Huh?
Spice has been around for like 50 years.
Yeah. I want to address this comment. Why should it be legal nationwide? Everything should be legal nationwide, worldwide, because for a lot of reasons. You can be pragmatic and look at the reduction in organized crime and all sorts of crime. You can be pragmatic and look at how prohibition laws incentivize more drug development and distribution because it's more profitable all of a sudden. You can look at it morally and say that it is a victimless crime. It's consenting adults engaging in a consenting activity with no victim. So
wrong.
No, it's not wrong. Consenting adults. Do you have the right to make? Do people have the right to make bad decisions, Chuck?
Yes, but if you're going to do drugs, as you say, and endanger people, then it becomes a problem with society.
How does it endanger somebody to be high?
Driving a car, other people, operating machinery.
Okay. So which one of so the crime is when you operate the vehicle under the influence?
Yes.
Okay, but it's not being high. That's not the crime.
No, I agree with you there.
Okay.
So I'm sorry if I'm not making much sense.
Because it's not a coherent thought. That's why you're not making sense. It's not a lack of communication. Okay. It's an incoherent thought. Go ahead, Sasquatch.
I sympathize with your losses. I really do. Just because I don't agree with the results of it, that your bias or your opinions, they're fine. You may have them. I don't have an issue with that. I have nothing against you. I simply disagree. That is all. Much respect.
I will second that.
And I appreciate that. Thank you.
But I adamantly disagree.
But see, like I said earlier in your show, Flo, I think the ulterior motive here is they want everybody on drugs in order to control them, irregardless of what form or fashion. That's another thing that
you have to play chess and not checkers. To say we need to make it illegal because they want people on drugs, that is checkers. Obviously, by making it illegal, it creates profit margin that would not otherwise be there. Which incentivized production, and that's why we got rap selling this shit to kids. That's why we got all media everywhere selling this shit to kids, because the prohibition is what's made it go from all drugs are super cheap to manufacture, but they're worth more than gold because they're illegal. If you took the profit margin out of it, you take all the development and distribution incentive out of it.
Yes. So I'm playing chess with this. I want all the drugs legal, even though I don't take any drugs, even if people bond over drugs, because if the drugs are really that bad, people would take themselves out with the drugs. Then it'll be easier to find other people like me.
Hank, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't know. That didn't make sense to me.
So if the drugs are bad, then the addicts will take themselves out, and I'll find the non-addicts easier.
So your problem, the reason you want drugs to be illegal is because you can't find any non-addicts?
But not enough of them.
And I forgot, Ian Zaratim, have you heard of Tartarian Truth? Sorry for taking so long. I saw this and then I forgot about it when I got distracted. I have not. I mean, it sounds familiar. I'm not familiar with him. You have? I suspect this might be like a $2 promotion, which I'm fine with.
Hypothesis where they had the mic.
Well, I think Tartarian Truth is a channel.
Garbage. It's no evidence for it, but a lot of people like to believe it's like an Atlantis derivative conspiracy theory.
Hank, I think he's asking about a YouTube channel. I've heard of Tartaria. I have not. I think I recognize the name Tartarian Truth, but I don't know that. Huh?
That's a person. It's a creator on YouTube. I'm pretty sure I've come across him.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I'm not familiar with him.
I think I saw him over in 007's chat. Yeah, that happened.
People channel. Okay, there's a guy called Tartarian Truth TV, and there's another one called Tartarian Truth YN for FY, probably Tartarian Truth TV.
Alcohol, hands down, alcohol is one of the most debilitating substances on
the
earth.
Most debilitating, it's definitely the most harmful to society.
Agreed.
Based on the way, there's no other drug that makes you equally as impaired and aggressive as alcohol. And it's one of the only two things that can kill you from detox, alcohol and benzos.
Right? And it's just outright dangerous in and of itself, whether it's in possession or you're making it or you're distributing it. If you break a bottle of that stuff while you're smoking, you're liable to go up in freaking flames.
Yep. And that's not to say that booze should be illegal. Definitely all of it should be legal. That's the reason that you have functioning alcoholics. Chuck, I think that you were, it sounds like what I gathered from a number of years. And the reason that you can have functioning alcoholics on the worst drug, really, in my opinion, there is, but not functioning crackheads, is specifically because of the legality around it. The illegality of most narcotics makes it such that it's impossible almost to live a functional life.
Facts. I spent 10 years strung out on every drug known to man, working every underground job you could possibly think of, only because I had to maintain my capability of using drugs. That was the only reason. The very second I got off that crap, I immediately got a real job, but I did not get a haircut.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think that we've beat up Chuck enough.
Yeah, Chuck, much love. Thanks for being a good sport.
Let's see, where's it gonna go? Oh yeah.
Next.
Who step right up. Oh, so what I'm gonna go back to the Jack video in a bit because
are you going back to today or yesterday still?
I was gonna continue the yesterday's unless you think I need to go back to today's.
Today's was pretty bad.
Bad in the sense how?
Honestly, and so I sort of part of I'll go to either one. I'm open to recommendations, but I
could speak for, if you want to dive into yesterday's whatevs, I can speak for today's. Like a lot of that was like yesterday, going back and watching Jack through that whole situation was just kind of chaotic. And I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. So I made a decision that I was just stepping away as far as being the person that defended Jack. He stated himself, he listed his credentials of what he's gone through, what he's capable of doing. He said he doesn't need to be treated with kid gloves, and he is he's on his own. He doesn't need help. So basically today, I just came up there and let him know that's okay. That I'll do that for him. I'll give him what he wants. And you have to be careful what you ask for. Hank, I've decided that I'm no longer going to convey information with you until I know more about you. I'm not sure if you're a threat or an ally.
I'm a threat to absolutely everyone.
That's exactly what I do. That's how I'm treating you until more is known about you.
But I want everyone to be subservient. That's all.
But you want what?
Everyone to be subservient. Do what I say do, unless not. And if not, we vote.
So, I just wanted to make that clear too, Hank. You got caught up in the crossfire.
I'm in.
I have to close
it
the
looks
circle.
like I got caught up in the crossfire, but that's exactly where I wanted to be.
Yeah. I had to close the circle, and when I was evaluating the circle, you came in, and that was the evaluation I made of you. Until I knew further information about you, you were exiled.
That works for me.
Good.
I like when people are afraid of me.
Well, I wouldn't say afraid. I would just say unaware. So.
Well, I would say afraid.
No, definitely not afraid. Flo.
Huh? I'm making a poll.
I know. Nothing. We'll talk about other stuff later. Because I wouldn't
roll the video, Flo.
Okay. There's a poll about, but I guess there's a poll for anyone, I guess.
And contrary to popular belief, Flo, I do have an open mind. I'm open to anything.
I can tell that you're intellectually honest. Nope, that's the wrong one. No, that's one of Wizard's videos that had me in it. I had that tab open too because I haven't seen that. I didn't realize until right before I started that he had been doing a video about me. This is not even new, but
why waste your time?
Wizard's pretty smart.
You're baiting me?
Except he won't show you how to make a stamp.
He is a master.
I will figure it out. I have a printer. I have a couple printers even.
He did it with crayons, though.
Actually, he did it with a red marker, a black marker, and postcard stock. I've got that clip too.
Oh, okay. Celia, yeah, drinking is a terrible thing to be afflicted with. I hear you.
Oops. Doing it again.
The only
because I've had people blame me for their feelings, right? I've been blamed because people got afraid or they got offended or whatever. The feelings are not always true, and we got to figure out what is true about this moment and this feeling. And if we're just going to, create an association, that we got to be careful with the associations of the feelings and especially people. And I'm not saying, believe me, I see what you have experienced from an outside, Cynthia. I can understand your opinion and why it may be challenging for you to want to find good, but there's good in both of you. I assure you. And
yeah, I see Paul as almost like an ego destroyer avatar right now. So
well, that's partially he does. but it's because he's got a big, strong ego that can take a lot of abuse. But I
want to clarify that's all that Paul's doing by saying he's attacking people's egos is justifying being hostile and abusive towards people. That's it. It's just an excuse. It's not a reality. It's nobody's job to address somebody else's ego and break it down, especially when the person's not willing. That's called an attack.
Okay, well, Paul, it's your job, and I'll pay you to do it. There you go. Now it is his job.
All right, so he's got one customer. It's still an attack for everybody else, and you understand that you could justify. You just would give him license to do anything to you. Nothing would bust your ego faster than putting you in a wheelchair from the neck down, having to have somebody wipe your ass.
Yeah, he has license to do anything to me, and that's to say no.
Well, you'll say if your ego is about to be broken, you'll say no before that point. You understand that, right, Hank?
Well, I would, but my ego's not anywhere close to being damaged yet. So
you're playing games. You're cute.
Do you have a brother?
I have a sister that's 12 years older than I am.
That doesn't count. They're violent. They're not. Yeah, it's not a psychological thing. If you had an older brother, you would understand what having your ego broken felt like.
I had a father who spanked me when he was young, but now he's old. Can't do anything to me.
Your father had an emotion for you. A brother would have the only emotion he would have would be just joy at absolutely destroying your psyche.
Well, I worked a very intensive job, so my psyche didn't get destroyed yet.
Yeah,
Hank, if working at it, then it's probably not nothing. It's not going to happen, buddy.
Yeah.
I worked 14 hours yesterday.
Oh yeah. The other thing I wanted to say is, Hank, nobody gives a fuck about 14-hour shift. That is not ego breaking.
How long do I have to work before you give me credit? He said, I mean, I can't just get.
It's just not gonna.
I can't get a brother.
We're not doing this. You said your dad spanked you and you worked 14 hours. It's broken.
I can have my ego broken, so it doesn't really make a difference.
God damn it, Hank.
So you have an unreasonable standard that I can't possibly.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll snatch you out, this motherfucker. I wonder. Oh yeah. It's okay. Paul does not have a big, strong ego. What he's displaying, attempting to harm other people and break other people down, is a sign of a weak ego. That's why you need to break other people down instead of build them up.
People have not been very kind or forgiving, willing to even give him another chance. Well, I don't know. How many chances do you give someone?
1,000.
You know I'm going to use them all up anyway.
Well, I have faith. I have faith that there's limits to even your stubbornness, Paul. Because
don't be so sure. They've been trying to find that limit from the beginning.
Hey, my life has been very similar. I've been telling you this, dude. Patience is a gift. Oh, praise God. I have been growing in my patience, my compassion, you know what? It's really easy. All we got to do is be excited about now.
Jack, there's a place for everything, right? Every kind of thought, emotion, action, in a sense. So when they tell me that I'm like Taurus the bull and I've been stubborn all my life, there's probably a place for that. If I wasn't so stubborn, I probably wouldn't be so unslaved. You get what I'm saying?
Correct.
It's not correct. He is slaved. Paul, you don't drive. You don't own property. You avoid doing anything that could be restricted, so you avoid living. You're, in fact, entirely exactly slaved by the things you claim don't slave you.
It is true.
So what standard?
There's also a strength.
What we have to do to be enslaved? What
to be enslaved, you have to, and to be free, you do what you want, and people cannot affect you. He does not do what he wants. He does what he's allowed, which is have his girlfriend drive him around.
Oh, does that mean I'm enslaved? That's excellent.
You're probably more enslaved than he is, but that's neither here nor there.
Kind of what Angeline was talking about regarding choosing when is the time. You know, which fight is mine.
Milk for the babes and meat for the strong man, Jack, like the scripture says.
I know.
And if you want to act like a man and you're a woman, I'm gonna treat you like one verbally.
Who's to judge, and what are the standards, and where, how far back are we looking? Are we comparing what was to what is to what might be? Where are we at, right?
But he's saying it in a gaslighty way. What Paul just said is if a woman acts like a man, I'll treat her like a man verbally. And Jack's going, yeah, see, what do we know? We don't know anything. We can't know anything. So don't have any opinions or judgments because we just don't know things. He's gaslighting for Paul to be abusive, for lack of a better word. I mean, it is the most fitting word.
Paul's just saying he'll acknowledge people's pronouns. It's not a big deal.
Paul needs new pronouns.
Everything is open to interpretation, including every moment. And if I can interpret each moment as good, that's what I choose to do because it feels good.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, that's just insanity.
Feel good.
That's
and we're all a part of the one God, man.
It is a flat out lie. He demonstrated it time and again. It's a flat out lie. It's bad advice. It's harmful advice to people. And to the extent that it could be true, it would be insanity.
No matter what we think, we're all part of this one time together. So Cynthia and Paul, it's easier and more fun when we don't have battles. Don't you know?
Dude, I don't have a problem sitting on a panel and not ignoring him. I just don't like that every time I speak, it's a childish behavior.
What if it wasn't? What if it wasn't?
Dude,
but what if it wasn't?
If he didn't do that, we would have no issues. I would never even speak to
Was
him.
it a childish behavior when I asked you why you took the B Systems fluid into you?
Childish behavior.
You're talking over me again. See, they never want to extend the same things that they wish to have. That's the hypocrisy.
We can point it out, move on.
Childish the lies that you make up behind.
Was it childish when you broke bad and went on a campaign for months ever since I cared for you more than you cared for yourself? Was that childish?
Complete bullshit.
I don't know what
someone
that
says that they
is
she
such
took the B system fluid into herself, and she contended that it was a good choice.
That is such crap. Telling somebody you care for them more than you care for themselves.
Yo,
Jack, if you got a problem, get your ass up here. I'm sick of it.
What?
Hey, can I speak?
Yep.
I think you should have turns so that one person can speak for a minute and then pass it on, because you're going round in circles. Well, it's like fiddling while Rome burns. Come on, can't you guys see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Like this middle.
I see it. I'm not sure what exactly you would like. What should we talk about right now?
B system fluid. I got B system fluid.
Sir,
I need to integrate with the OTO and the UU so I can.
I have already tried to save you from yourself. And right now, people are people are not doing anything. People are trying to relax and distract themselves with the drama. Probably for most people. Yeah, I don't know. It's recreation for most people, so or entertainment.
Can I speak?
Are you entertained?
Who was Paul?
So hit that like button.
Was he talking to Hank?
What did he say?
I'll ride you like the brain dead beast that you are. Was he talking to Hank?
Yeah, they probably said that. Get your saddle, buddy.
What was that?
I don't know. We can't know. Jack will probably be able to explain why. It wasn't anything rude. It's just us and our egos.
No. Oh, yeah. So, does Paul like you, Hank? Is there are you sensing
JG is quite convinced that Paul's predatory towards men and not in a I wanna convince you to give me $10,000 sort of way.
You mean romantic way?
Yeah,
that's the claim. I don't.
We're not too different.
From Paul, Hank?
Say again?
Have you picked up certain vibes from him since you say that he allows you to do whatever you want? Is this are you picking up things like he has a certain type of
affinity,
admiration towards you that might?
Yes. It's likewise. We have equal admiration for each other. Yes.
Okay.
Huh.
Interesting.
What would the nature of that admiration be? Do you think? Do you think that you two have more in common than most people do?
Yes.
But it's not that he's a Satanist. Maybe he is. Is he a Satanist?
Or
is it something else?
Satanist, and neither do I actually. So.
Oh, okay.
and that we should all do it. And I held her accountable to that decision. And I don't understand. I'm explaining what went on. You're both attempting to cut me off. What is the purpose of that? What are we censoring right now?
I'm trying to find a resolve, and I understand.
The resolve is going to come from within her. It's not going to come from outside of her because she's the one suffering and the one with the issues.
Okay, but it's also there is an outside.
I love how he tells me I'm suffering.
The resolve is going to come from within her. Basically, she needs to change. And here's the thing, Jack. Why the fuck do you feel like this dude needs to be? He's 34 years old, and you're treating him like a fragile baby. He's just an adult loser.
May I make a point? You just said words come within her out loud.
No, that's a whole other conversation. Squash. That's because somebody talked to me about that and saying, this is really what Paul's thinking about you. And I was like, no. But
did he say that, or did I repeat it wrong, or was I parroting him right?
I think you quoted it perfectly.
Yes, when we were talking about empathy and you were saying how the babies don't know how to separate from their mom, and the narcissists, like they become like they
don't recognize that other people are separate.
Yes, like that's like he is really like that. It was so evident, and you see it in this conversation he's having right now.
Yeah, and you see it in Jack too, just not to the degree. Jack's smarter than Paul, and probably more well-intentioned as well. So you don't notice it as much, but Jack does a similar thing. We're all one.
Yes, the more truthful you get with these people, the more they get offended by you.
That's the way
if I
of
can say
saying
something, what's more powerful, where we were or where we are?
Thank you.
Well, you'd have to ask the people who are either living in the now or living in the past. For the people living in the past, where right now is powerless. Can't you tell? They're struggling for power in the moment. Down in the chat box as a fake mod.
Since you're the one bringing up the past, and I'm asking you, what's more powerful?
Right. I brought up the past to illustrate a dynamic that's taking place in the now consistently. Because some folks are living in the past and can't live in the now and get over their feelings about what was said that they did.
Hey, Paul. Okay, there's another part to the story where you're responsible. Through your judgment and your opinion, you saw a similarity to the past, and you chose in your righteousness to bring up memories of the past to be right now, instead of flowing with what could be. And
you asked a question. You asked a question about why this continues as if you had no clarity. So I was creating clarity by illustrating what the main crux of the problem and disconnect is.
Great.
So I was attempting to bring clarity and context to where there seemed to be confusion.
We can find a resolve just right now when we just simply
like Jack does
allow the past to be. Okay.
Jack, you act like I'm the one who was not doing that behavior just before. Did you just miss what just happened, or?
Jack, I have an issue when people come to me and say, I care about you more than you care about yourself. Right there, that's a red flag for me. This is someone who's never talked to me on the phone.
There you go.
We've never had a connection.
You just convicted yourself again.
And that's that type of behavior that is toxic. It's malice, and I just want to stay away from it because it's not going to serve.
Because you project that nobody else can have a selfless state of, I can't answer to what she's saying about me ever, huh? You're going to spin the narrative for however you need it to be.
Why don't you pause and just?
Can I ever just answer to what she's saying about me instead of having to always go back and filter through you? Can you just practice patience and wait for me to answer to what she's saying about me and then speak after me? Is that possible?
Resolve, or are you just here to argue? My purpose is to try and find resolve.
Okay, you find resolve without the other person she's speaking about involved in the conversation. That's great counseling. That's great mediating.
Yeah. My apologies. I've lost track now of what Cynthia offered.
God, this is embarrassing, Jack. This is embarrassing.
You know he's down there watching.
I know he is. That's why I'm saying that. That's why I'm pausing to take a pause and say, Jack, this is fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, they're both still watching.
And did he not say forget about the past? Let's focus on now.
Who?
But yet Jack.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came up on the show today, he wanted to dig at me at first for the past.
Yeah.
Different method of resolve. Paul, if you remember what you wanted to respond with, please, by all means, continue.
Yes, it's a conviction and indictment on her state of consciousness. She presumes nobody else can be in a selfless state to care about others equally as much as they care about themselves.
Okay, great. So now instead of really just projecting a blame.
That's not a blame. That's culpability, which you don't like accountability for culpability.
Let's discuss the facts, okay, which I do agree with what you said, Paul. But there's no reason to just be all accusatory and
not accusatory. I'm speaking on the condition that's taking place.
Chill out and take a breath, man. Fucking check back into the moment. We can relax.
Okay? So because I'm not lukewarm and mediocre and out of breath, I'm not relaxed, right? I'm not peaceful. I'm not present. I'm not clear.
tell you what.
Just float in the ether, man. Float in the ether.
He's floating in the ether, man. Yeah, every one of those guys I meet has nothing going on in life.
Without the ego, there's no need to be so combative. There's no need to be so in
The
charge.
truth is combative, and every time I keep speaking, everyone keeps getting reactive and defensive and making justifications for nonsense.
Hey, Paul, you're projecting right there. So please allow me to continue without your.
Go ahead, sir.
See, you're creating the reality for us that truth is combative. But I'm telling you, the truth brings resolve, man. All you got to do.
Based on perspective.
All you got to do is accept that which is true, and there's no more reasons to argue.
Man.
Let's watch the one from today. Most people want us to watch them both publicly. I think that we've watched enough of this one to get the gist of it. It goes on more.
Pretty good.
Huh?
Today's was pretty good.
All right. Let me pull it up real quick.
Only because I got a tongue lashing. 2 of them, as a matter of fact.
Hank will give you a tongue lashing.
Oh, please
there's
do.
no guarantee of that. I mean, he doesn't really do anything wrong.
That's a poor standard for who to attack.
Okay, what's my standard?
All right, fair enough.
I don't know, Flo. $20 is $20.
Wait, what happens for $20?
What you like?
You know, Flo's all about that money. He's 100 trillion billion dillion %.
We're waiting.
From people who I admire, from friends. I found offense and criticism from them being them.
We already watched this part, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so.
And what they were doing, they were talking about me with care, concern. And I studying. Oh, and with a direct purpose of leadership. I've been studying from some of the top life coaches who are alive today.
Yeah, we've seen this already.
Work with executives, CEOs, the top level people. I've been studying those people to see what they're sharing with those leaders, right? Place where they're willing to receive, a place of humility, where they're honest and seeking the answers. When a student is ready to learn, we can learn anything when we try. When we choose to know something, when we choose to understand, if there is a good teacher there, a teacher who is patient, one who
like
is
me,
understanding, you know, one who's maybe able to explain things in multiple ways. Hello,
like me.
Okay, this claim that I'm not a good teacher, that's a bunch of nonsense that's being made up. Okay.
I actually want to say something in his favor right here. I do think that he's a fine teacher. I think that he's not. He's either not familiar with the subject matter or he's not embodying it. So somehow that's off. But I think that as far as being a teacher goes, he's perfectly fine. And yeah.
What can he teach me? I mean, I work as a corporate
I'm just talking about his capacity and patience and willingness to explain things to people so they understand them better. I think that he has.
But he cannot explain. He doesn't explain. It's all generalities.
Yes.
Well, that's my point. I think that I think that's a subject matter issue, not a person. His capacity to teach issue.
I don't understand what he can possibly teach me. I mean,
I don't care. That's all. I'm not going to get into an argument over this. I just was making the point for myself.
All right, let her roll.
So far, this was one of my realizations. I don't know to share this one or not. It's This is documentation. It's a part of the documentary that's being shown, my life. Eventually, someone will want to join. We'll put these pieces together, put these clips together, and all this stuff, man. We're going to make some magic just out of the stuff that's already been said. So back to what we're doing, documenting the evolution, what's been happening with Jack. What I've been seeking for, it was pointed out. Our friend Cynthia pointed it out. Which Cynthia, bless you, my friend. You have been speaking reason, but please don't place too much pity on me, okay? And that's what Flo and the others were offering you. Just as I assumed you're stronger than most think.
Catch that, Flo?
Don't underestimate me, nor the value of what this experience.
I heard my name, but no, I was actually distracted by his comment in the chat.
Did you catch that?
No, what did he say?
The jar were trying to tell me not to, stick up for him so much.
That last night we was offering Cynthia pity.
Yeah, I know. I was offering him critique. I didn't expect, for the record, I did not expect him to take it. And I said this last night. I have certain expectations of people in my life, and he did not meet those. And that was all there was to it, really. He doesn't owe me anything, whatever. I don't know. It's just, he's not accountable to me. He just didn't meet my standards. So, you can argue and kick and scream and whine and complain and try to convince me that I don't know what I'm talking about all you want. I know what I saw, and I know what I expect of people, and I know it didn't meet it.
Experience is bringing in the future, right? When it all comes together. So, what I've been seeking, honestly, is a chance. And yet the world has been so unwilling to really, the world I have experienced in the limited people who've been in my experience, from my perspective, I don't feel like I've been allowed a fair opportunity, right? I mean, I was talking to my mother earlier today about this. According to public record, testimony, right? Testimony of people who allegedly know me and love me. Somehow, some way, the public record reflects that I'm a dangerous man. Man to be avoided. That's what many say. That's what I was reading.
So if the people who are in the best position to make that assessment all say this thing, if everything smells like shit, it might be your mustache, I guess. Not that everything actually smells like shit.
That would be a dirty Sanchez.
Yeah.
But want to say that I'm a panel in a stream to be avoided. It's like, whoa, holy shit. More of this? Things are changing, though. I'm so excited for when they do. So, why did I get onto them avoiding?
Are you avoiding Jack Flow?
I meant.
No. Oh, I see him down there in the comments. Why?
Oh, I thought he was saying you wasn't letting him up.
No, I think he's accusing somebody of avoiding me. Oh, you're saddening. I don't know what he wants. He's welcome to come up. He's not backstage. I'm
okay. I'm
paying a lot of attention to the chat right now. Like, I'd check back, but I'm not actively reading every comment. Welcome.
Imagine that's what the Creator is doing too. Our God, the Father Jesus spoke up, waiting silently, strongly, patiently, waiting for the world to invite God in.
Thank you for another super chat with the same question. I answered the last one. I answered it late because I missed it. But I assume this is advertising anyways. I have heard of Tartarian Truth. I'm not familiar with the channel, but I am familiar with the fact that it is a channel.
Yes, I linked the channel in the private chat, so he's heard of it, and I can find it.
All right, nobody cares about flat Earth right now.
That's what I feel my experience has been. It's what I've learned, what I've realized. And here, we'll bring us into today's thoughts. God, this thought is coming. I see a world in the future, in the very near future, happening very soon, where we unite. The world is united together for the common purpose of love, cooperation, compassion. And it can all start today. It can all start at any time. We all get to start. We all get to end. We all get to do what we want in the middle, right? So if you're following along, the inspiration I had today, I'm going to give you the conclusion, and then I'll take you back, and maybe it'll make a little more sense. But for those who might be new to me, I got some radical ideas of peace, and well, I just mentioned it. But I believe a path towards accomplishing this goal of unification could be through the leadership of the world. You know, there's an undeniable structure of the states that exist. And the economic influence is undeniable as well. So let's get those people on board and involved. And here's the thought I had. A few years ago, I set the goal. 2018, I set the goal. I wanted to become a man more like Jesus. Through study, trials, tribulation, a little experimentation with myself, I discovered we are. All of us. We're just like Jesus. Just like him. So many ways. It's our conditioning and our lack of will, our lack of trust, the past, the memories of trauma that we choose.
Lindsay
to keep.
calls Hank a twisted kitten.
That prevents us.
Whoa, I like.
I'm not saying it this way, put plain, but in the end, people are responsible for what people are doing, and what people are doing is a direct result of what people around them allow them to do. I'll bring this into these live streams, and these words are a reminder for me. People will do what people around them allow them to do. In these live streams, there's going to be a lot more order. Okay, simple as that. This chaos, nonsense, this bullshit of people coming up on the panel, not even discussing, clear. People are showing clear indication that they're not really paying attention to what I've been saying. Everyone seems to find an excuse of why they disbelieve or why they want to doubt me, and then they want to run around and try to have others convinced to believe like them, that I'm a man not to be believed. But I allow the truth to reign supreme, and I encourage everyone to allow the truth to reign.
And I don't think I don't think if that was said, it was not. I don't think that was even actually said. It was not the intention. It was not the point. It was, yeah. It may have incidentally been what a takeaway would be, an inferred takeaway based off yesterday's activities, but that wasn't.
That was his perception.
Right.
I'm going to get to today's inspirations and then into a lesson, and then maybe the panel from there. But I'm seeing some names I'd welcome joyfully into the panel with me. But I do want to get through these thoughts, share them while they're fresh, I guess. I was thinking earlier about how God is truly our best friend. No, that's right. Here's the conclusion. Conclusion: I set the goal to become a man more like Jesus. I got a new definition for it today. I want the world I want around the world. That's how it is. Around the world, I hope there will be people reaching out to others saying, "Hey, you heard about this guy, Jack Talcott?
Hold up,
check
Flo,
out the words he's saying, man. They just ring true."
Hold up, Flo. He's wanting to be Martin Luther King without doing the work.
Well, and Jesus died too, I'd point out. That's fine, but
all right.
Yeah, right? And so that's where you guys come in, the viewers. You can be a part of this dream if you want. Because ideally, the goal is to get these ideas of peace, harmony, equity, righteousness, allowing the truth to reign supreme rather than bankers and authority. The idea is to get these ideas around the world, right? And, there's mainstream media opportunities, there's social media opportunities, there's community connections, there's family connections. There's a way to get me these ideas in front of
Jack. I
don't know, anyone we think can help. Anyone who we think might want to help bringing peace.
What did you say?
I said, Jack, come back up on the panel and set it.
Well, I mean, I kind of want to get through this and see what was said.
Okay, go ahead.
Jump back, and it'll just derail.
Go ahead.
This is becoming unnecessarily long. It's making it longer and harder.
To the world. That's who I want to talk to. Right? It just seems to make sense. If that's my dream, that's what I want to happen. I want to be a man like Jesus. Right? But you turn to me, I'm going to tell you, turn to him. But really, you're turning to you and the Christ that's within you. It's here and now. It's in the presence. With your surrender of your worries and your hate and your discontent and your pain and your suffering, when you release those things, there it is. There's the spirit of comfort left behind for us all to receive, to know, to enjoy.
And a napkin in the trash can.
So here's where I want to place on now the teacher's hat. Okay, and we'll get into the topic of the video. The basics of simplicity. Golly geez, man. Hey, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop the link, and if he wants to join, this is for the Machine Lives. Okay? Can I do that just for you? I don't know. or an artist, what do? They take those basics, those fundamentals of the game or the craft, and they enhance. I thought I could use some help. Within the basics, you learn the techniques, you learn the fundamentals, and the fundamentals and the techniques, those get refined through you, your character, your seasoning. You enhance the fundamentals with your special gift. And it's up to each of us to discover our gift. There's a gift within us that's yet to be discovered. I'm going to offer the basics of a simple life, the basics of simplicity. Creating and living and realizing a simple life exists right now. It's waiting to be received and accepted, acknowledged and known, and to live out a simple and peaceful life, man. That is where life is at. I'm telling you, this goal is worth achieving for yourself. The way of peace is so simple. It's so simple. And yet for some, it's so out of reach. See, and this is where faith in God, in the Father.
I want to point out that peace is a simple concept, but it's not a simple enactment. You have to enforce peace. You can't bitch your way into peace. You can't pussy your way to peace. All that's going to get you is none of it. That's the worst way to get peace, is to be a victim.
How far are you into this video, our time-wise?
23 minutes and 40 seconds.
Okay. NJ Jeep Girl said at 120 is when I come up, but keep going.
Okay, Jeep Girl, I haven't really seen any of this today except for what I've watched up here. So if you know when, another timestamp, is there more stuff between now and then, or what? I'm looking for the meat, and I don't know what meat there is in here, but I think my impression is that there's more up here somewhere.
Okay, go ahead.
But I got that from you and Cynthia, or somehow.
Yeah, there's some.
Could I just say something?
I'm gonna jump ahead. This is relatively. What'd you say? 121.
120. No, it's got to be back before that.
Say something.
Well, you're still here there.
Speaking of that stuff and peace and that, there's a quote that I remember hearing even when I was younger. Easier said than done.
Well, I mean, it has to be done. You can't. I mean, it takes two people. It takes two parties to have peace for one. If one party decides not to have peace, the other party won't have peace. And if you just think happy thoughts while you're getting your head stomped in, guess what? That's not peace.
Because the truth apparently doesn't feel well. Because I did not attack you at one time last night when you was on. I sat by and I did not, other than saying your condescending attitude towards the people that were talking to you was all I said. I'm not here to destroy you. I like you, Jack.
Hey, Chuck, do you care to know? Do you care to know anything beyond what you think?
What's different between what I think and what you think?
Do you care to know? Because I've tried to.
That's not a thing. Nobody can know more than what they think, or that's just.
One moment.
Explaining myself to you before, and you've been obviously not paying attention. You've been dismissing my words and quite insulting, which shows to me your confusion. So
my confusion. Okay.
So
I'm listening.
Again, I'm asking you. I heard what you said. You joined the panel today to narrate your opinion of our shared experience, and you revealed what you think. And so, Chuck, do you care to? Well, I disagree.
I did not say that Jack was an asshole and he said this, and all I said was apparently our conversation, we were wrong.
Chuck, why are you repeating yourself? Do you think I don't remember? Or are you
apparently
just not? Well, see, Chuck, here's what I'm observing. If you notice yourself, what you're showing me is patterns of an insecure ego. Okay? It's the part of us that needs to argue, needs to be right.
Well, I'm not the one that was laughing at somebody when they
you feel like a victim and then you're reacting as a perpetrator. Let's observe what Chuck is doing up here. Rather than explaining himself or even asking a question, even allowing any answers to be known from me, he wants to present the case, then continue to defend, deflect, and distract from the conversation. So chill the fuck out, Chuck. Okay? We can talk about things like adults. So which part should I address first? Your complaint about today or your complaint about yesterday? Your defense about yesterday or your defense about today? Where should I start,
this
Chuck?
is why Jack is here. He just likes to argue.
How you keep muting me?
I don't think he's here to bring peace at all. He's here to catch reverence, right? And that's, if you want to bring peace, you should do it without your name. That's usually how it works. There might be a name, but there's more to a method than than the name Jack Talcott. These ideas that Jack Talcott has. That's what he wants. That's what he expects of his audience, of his people.
That they behave peacefully, even though there's antagonists. I mean, you can't say that you cannot say that you want peace if you repeatedly and consistently bring in something to disrupt peace.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets worse in the video too. And then it gets to the point where he just mutes me. He keeps muting me.
He doesn't have to.
Hey, Bonich. How you doing?
Hey, sis.
Refuse others.
I kept muting you because you kept interrupting me. See, Chuck,
well, let's start with the maniacal laughing at the person that was trying to express what they saw to you last night in an honest and sincere way, and you immediately went into a maniacal laugh fit, totally disregarding what the person had to say.
Hey, Chuck, you're revealing your foolishness. You'd be best. Someone says I'm the worst lawyer ever.
You told me to tell you what the issue was.
Chuck, can you shut up for a minute? Okay, allow me to run things for just a moment. I'm the worst lawyer ever. I'm counseling. I'm advising you, Chuck. Shut the fuck up for a few minutes, okay? What you're showing is exactly what I'm describing. You're sitting here looping, and here, let's come back to the. I know you first came forth with the complaint and claim against me because you were censored in the chat. You presented a defense and assumed that that's all the only fucking answer. So here, Chuck, in your comments to Lindsay, as you offered, you said in regards to what she's missed, same old, which I know how you've been describing me, Chuck, and we'll come back to that if you have confusion on those things. But same old. He kind of touched on our combo from last night. I'll come back to this. Well, we were wrong, so to say. The little Eeyore victim bitch showing. So, Chuck, had you listened to my words today, what I started out with was actually quite a bit of humility, some public recognition that I may have jumped to conclusions and reacted poorly to people I care about, to friends. I found criticism and offense, which I believe by a fair mind, they could easily assume that was a reasonable thing for me to receive by people who supposedly want to see me supported and supposedly want to see me grow. But then don't talk to me privately, go around publicly complaining about me, encouraging others, with their leadership. I'm not going back to Jack. But Chuck, despite all that, I came today in the first start of the show, which you described as same old, and I kind of touched on the convo. I disagree with your words, your description. I think you've misrepresented the truth, Chuck. Especially when you said, well, we were wrong, so to say. That proves to me you did not listen to me. Unless you can explain where you heard me offering nothing new today, same old. And if you can demonstrate that your words are in fact true and I'm not accurate, please, what did I miss, Chuck?
All I was telling her was to basically go back and rewatch. Text does not always convey the true meaning of what you're trying to say.
Okay, so great, Chuck.
And it was directed at her for her information. It was not directed as a jab towards you. You took it that way. That's not my fault.
Hey, Chuck, stop telling me what I am and I'm not.
Well, that's what you're doing to me.
No,
you're doing that to me.
Chuck, right. This is what I realized. You and I were going to get along a lot better when you stop fucking comparing us. When you stop trying to prove yourself better than me. That's what you're doing. You don't realize what you're doing. You're a confused man, Chuck. And here, I'm going to address a couple more things very briefly. When I responded to, I know what you're bringing up, my maniacal laugh. You're such a little bitch, Chuck. Fucking
it was. Go back Chuck. And watch it.
Hank, you're wasting your money.
Right back to that.
You're wasting your money, Hank. And he's got like 18 other sock accounts.
Right.
I know he has 18 sock accounts. I'm just saying you probably waste your time just trying to bump him.
Oh, Hank.
This is why I think Talcott speaks.
Yeah, what I was laughing at was obvious and clear projection. Not only projection, people projecting their insecurities and their bullshit onto me with their imagined problems, their imagined disappointments, their imagined, judgment of me. I see a bunch of people projecting that shit onto me, and then I saw a group of people, adults, enabling each other. And I'm like laughing at the situation that you were a part of, Chuck. So fuck you for not speaking the truth.
Nobody said it multiple times. It was a conversation. It was not a beat up Jack session. People were trying to be honest with you.
Chuck, all you're doing is wasting our time telling me what things were not. And so, you know what?
Well, you're doing the same thing.
Chuck, tell you what, let's come back to something different now. Hopefully I've addressed a couple of your complaints. Whether you accept resolve or not is on you. Now, the one I'd like to discuss with you is, what is an antichrist to you, Chuck?
It was a joke. Did you not see the LOL at the end of it?
Okay, well, hold on. Actually, let me back up, because more so, I want to know about you. Do you consider yourself to be an honest man?
I try to be.
How often?
All the time. I'm not perfect.
How often are you honest?
I can't give you a percentage. What do you want, 99% of the time?
Do you keep track of your lies, or there's too many to count?
No, because a lie come back to haunt you.
Okay, so how does one know when you are lying or if you're telling the truth? Well, you're always telling the truth 99% of the time. So when you said that Jack is the Antichrist. What exactly should people receive from that, Chuck?
There was an LOL at the end of it.
Where are you remembering typing it? Because I'm remembering hearing you say it.
No, I did not say it.
You did.
I typed it on a comment on one of Flo's videos.
You said it in Flo's panel.
If I said it, it was in a joking manner.
Why do you think that's funny? What is the funny part? What is the funny part about it?
The joke is that you're not literally the Antichrist. It's like saying somebody's Bowser or it might have been an insulting or a critical joke, but it's obviously a joke.
In the text of the conversation,
explain it to me.
It was a lighthearted satire conversation.
I'll explain the joke.
What was your intention if you said it?
I just told you it was a satire.
Chuck, okay, so you wanted to be humorous.
Hey, Jack, I'll explain the joke.
So put yourself out there as a creator.
Hank, I hear that you want to talk.
You're promoting me when you're talking about me, or are you just wasting your life away complaining about people and talking and gossiping online? Because that's what I see you doing, Chuck. I see you as honestly a disappointment, and you don't seem willing to really accept what I've been offering. You've been in this pattern of denial and defense. You're feeling defensive because you've been constantly attacking my character, Chuck. You're a very confused man who does not know what you're saying. And I'm encouraging you, Chuck. You're a grown man. It's time for you to start fucking paying attention to what is real and what is not. For you to run around describing Jack Talcott as the Antichrist as a joke in the way that you have, in addition to all of your other criticisms, your constant negativity towards me, Chuck, you're a better man than what you've shown. And I shared this elsewhere with another friend who I care about. When I see people who are allegedly my friends, when I see them going around talking badly about me, when they supposedly know my situation and know my goals, my desires to help others, to end wars, to bring a better world for others, despite my situation, when I see people who are allegedly my friends talking bad about me, it doesn't do either of us any good. So Chuck, figure out what part you want to play in my life, because so far you have not been enjoyable. You've not been pleasant. Chuck, you've not been of any value towards me and my success. And I view my success, even though my son and my friends are not immediately with me, my success is still for them. Because when
Okay, Jack, can I explain the joke now?
Chuck, is there much more, or is there more things you want to get to, or is this?
He brings me up one more time just to lash me more.
I mean, unless it's something that's worth going to. So far, like most of this has been pretty blah.
I want to explain the joke.
My family and friends.
The joke. Okay, what's the joke?
The Antichrist thing. So, Jack Talcott wants to end wars, and that's also the Antichrist's agenda, is to end wars.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, the war to end all war.
Yep.
Okay, well, I did not. Okay, good. Nicely done, Hank. I did not know that about the Antichrist.
As the unanimous.
It's funny that you say that, because it's also Christ says that he comes to bring a sword, right? He's not here. Christ will come to bring a sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not here to bring peace. So
that he comes as a thief in the night.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Machine Lies?
Goddamn rural internet.
Who is he referring to?
Who?
Oh, TML, this thing on screen. Yeah, the sun is getting low for me as well. So yeah, I guess after watching what I've watched, I don't think really my opinion has changed on anything. It was sort of a loop.
Jack, if you want to continue to be the victim, be the victim. That's all.
So here's the thing: like, this isn't a one-time. Like, I've been like Cynthia. We've been playing with kid gloves for months, almost a year. At some point, you've got to stop being treated with kid gloves and sack the fuck up. And you're not sacking the fuck up. And so, like I said,